Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a Ko-fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So, a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Smith Tools and Purchase, A Level Plain Poem, Amish, Colton James, BG, Survive the Spin, Effie Patriot, On the Level, Thomas van der Zande, Gary Hughes, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Sea Level Cultist, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, The Name's Burley, Twodwazzle, Jason Hornsby, Christoph Fournier, Flat Earth Travolta, J Melds 24, Unimento, M, Iron 26, Endless, Golden McKinnon, Retro Bill, Michael Kahn, John Case, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Mel B. Styles, Harry Blade, Mobile Mac 777, Rob W, Del West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, Chow Young Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I'll hand across to whoever's in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
So that would be the horizontal plane that continues on forward when they're getting that elevation change. So for practical purposes, now I'm covering practical use. For practical purposes, people utilize the system of measurement on the surface of the Earth according to a horizontal plane. And that's how it's done. So I want to know if you have any questions on that, because we can continue to talk about it. But that is, we talked about observation, which you agreed with, even though you disagree that you still think it's a globe, but you understand that you use the analogy of a small marble, increasing it to millions of, whatever you said. It just gets to a giant ball, right? That you couldn't perceive it. Well, you just agreeing with everybody that it looks observably, it looks flat, right? So measurement, they don't utilize any measurement to account for the drop over distance. So I've already explained that. Not to a great extent, but just so that you can understand that it's not utilized. Any measuring on the surface requires a horizontal plane. So, and a practical use would be that everybody every day utilizes the surface as if it were that horizontal plane. So, and I told you, we're asking, what do you talk about when you say flat Earth? We're not actually talking about the actual dirt. You're talking about that horizontal plane that extends off of the distance. It's utilized as a topographical horizontal plane. So, in reference to what we're saying with flat Earth.
Okay, can I respond?
Sure.
Yeah, is it the case that the Earth, is the existence of the Earth is contingent in its entirety of it being flat?
What do you mean contingent? What do you say?
So, yeah, like the Earth has the property. Like if you were to fly out into space, it would be flat, like a disc.
Yeah, they put into your mind that there's a lot of things you can do on the surface and leaving the surface, meaning that you can actually go outward and go off into the vacuum of space. There's this idea, right, that you have in your mind. So in order to understand, like, there's quite a few things we have to discuss, which would be in the realm of, like, that specific question would lead us to talk about gas pressure and or systems of the Earth, like being either open, closed, or isolated. And in these three systems, in regards to the Earth, you'd have to put it in one of those categories. Well, isolated systems aren't anywhere found in nature. So you can't say that it's an isolated system. So now you have only two options. Either it's an open or closed system. So in regards to an open or closed system, where would you value the Earth being? Because in a closed system, matter and energy transfer, as far as that goes, matter cannot escape a closed system, only energy. But in regards to an open system, both matter and energy can escape the system. So the Earth as a globe would have to have matter and energy transfer, meaning that matter can leave the system of the Earth into the vacuum of space and such. Like gas could escape, rockets could leave, and so forth. But if that were true, that means that gas would have an expanding property that it would keep continuing to expand out into the vacuum of space to fill the available space. Now, would you think that in an open system, the gas would stay on in the system, being is that it's open system?
That's not even the claim that I'm making.
Yeah, but it is by saying that.
Just wait. I'm giving
Yeah.
the response. I'm just saying in like a logical modality. You agree that it's metaphysically possible to fly out into space, and view the Earth from space, right? Like you agree that's metaphysically possible?
No, it's not.
Yeah. What sort of metaphysical commitments are you making here?
Well, it's not. I'm not making you. You're actually requiring that one of these systems that I'm describing, it be like so the Earth. Like I was saying, if you're regarding the Earth as a globe, is it either an open or closed system? And then we'll go from there. Do you think it's an open system?
Open system insofar as energy and matter are able to transfer out. Or
yes.
I think transfer isn't the right word here to use.
Well, it is because the system.
Wait, just say.
No, it is though. You have to realize that it is. So you can't have your cake and eat it, right? You can't be a closed system and an open system at the same time. It's either open or closed.
That's not even what I'm saying though. Like all I said. No, I understand. That's not even the claim. You said no to what I just said, and then just started talking about something else.
No, it's not something else. It's in regards to your question. You're thinking rockets can leave the Earth and look back and see that the Earth is a globe.
That wasn't even what I said. All I said was that.
Yeah, it is.
No, wait. Yeah, that was from prior. But you said no to when I said that transfer probably isn't the right word. But
yeah, and I said it was.
That's all just a semantical dispute. It's whatever.
No, it's important. It's an important factor, dude. It's the reason why you would say rockets leave the Earth.
It seems like transfer is being used here in a different way that I would use it. But
really,
but whatever. Look, the case being, so just to be clear, you think that like if we were to grant that it's a closed system, it's metaphysically impossible, to view the sort of the Earth from space.
There we go. He's onto the original.
Can't leave the system, dude. Using the word metaphysical.
Impossible?
Yeah, you're using the word metaphysical. Like that you're using a word that doesn't fit here.
Dodging his question for no.
So a rocket is not metaphysical. A rocket is not metaphysical, is it?
Do you remember my question?
Yeah, you're addressing something. What does metaphysical have to do with the actual rocket?
No, that's not even what I said.
I didn't really intend to. I'm really sorry, guys. Just a second.
Do you remember the question?
Sorry to interrupt. Just for 1 second.
Sophistry engaged.
Just stop,
go
guys.
ahead, Nathan.
Alpha, I'm really sorry to interrupt. Right. Just number one. Hello, morning. Number two, his question's quite simple, right? Notwithstanding the argument about closed or open systems, he's just saying if you go up, would it all be flat? That's really all he's asking. I mean, if he's not asking me, so I'm not going to answer that. But that's all he's asking.
Okay, wait. No, that's and then the response was something along the lines of, if it's a closed system, then it's impossible to leave the system.
Yeah, but let me answer. Answer. Hold on, Gabe. Gabe, let me answer what Nathan clarified for you. Is that what you were asking, right?
Yeah, I said that like twice.
And the answer is yes.
Oh yeah, okay. So if you were to look from space, the Earth would be flat. Okay, I just wanted to clear up what you mean by a flat Earth. But
yeah,
okay, now back to the main point of reference, or the main dialogue tree. All that you talked about in terms of measurement and observation doesn't lead you to the conclusion that the Earth is flat. By the way, like I hope.
Yeah, but you're kind of avoiding one of the parts of like the argument that people ask. The vacuum of space to you is something that is a real, logistical place that you can actually arrive to. You're thinking that that's even a possibility. So in answering you was kind of saying, yeah, you can go from there and look back and see. That's the problem. So what you're doing is I have to concede that, yeah, you can actually get there and look back and then look at the whole entire thing and say, yeah, it looks like a giant, flat Earth.
Wait, do you agree?
You see what I'm saying?
Wait, do you agree there's an accessible world where the vacuum of space does exist?
Where the vacuum of space exists?
Yeah.
No. You can't arrive to a location that doesn't. You're trying to make it sound like yeah, if I can get to this place and look back, then I can see the entire world, and then say, okay, I can see it from that place, and then say, yeah, I know what it is.
Okay, wait. In reference to the previous question, because we just talked past each other, is it logically impossible for the vacuum of space to exist in a nearly accessible world or not?
He already answered
The
you.
vacuum
He
of
said
space?
no. He's already answered this twice.
No, he wait, he made it. Wait, he answered the question and then he just made another point, but the point contradicts the answer to the question, because if presumably he says, wait, you said it's logically impossible. Whoever was just talking, Alpha.
He answered you.
That was Nathan.
You're asking him the same question. He answered you really clearly.
No. The previous question was the metaphysical impossibility. I'm asking him whether or not in a logical modality, is it logically impossible for the vacuum of space to exist? That's a different question.
Logical modality. My
Well,
God.
think about it. If you're going to use logic, then form it in a logical syllogism: premise, conclusion.
Wait, what?
So put
what
it.
are you
Yeah.
talking about?
So you're talking about logic, yeah?
No. Do you know what I mean by logical?
Yeah, but you're okay. So are you using logic?
No, you're
Gabe,
talking
are you
modality.
using logic? Yes or no?
You're talking past me. You're talking past me.
He's saying, it's a logical modality. Okay, put it in a logical syllogism. Oh, I'm not talking about logic here.
Logic as being something that's impossible, right? You're trying to put it in the realm of logic.
No, you don't know. You don't know what I'm saying. Okay, when I say logical impossibility, in propositional logic, that just means to say that, or in modal logic, sorry, that's just to say that it's P and not P. So if I were to say that if we were to have like a chicken, and then I were to say that in another world the chicken exists but doesn't exist at the same time, that's a logical impossibility. So it's P and not P, where the chicken does exist and the chicken does not exist. Now, when I ask you whether or not it's logically impossible for the space of vacuum to exist, you said no, or you said that, yeah, it is impossible.
Yeah.
And then, so what is the P and not P there? What is the logical contradiction?
You'd have to bypass a second law of thermodynamics, which means that the air that you breathe right now as gas pressure would have to have an available space to expand out to. So if you can't by any way say that, the gas expansion would be prevented by something or nothing, then you'd have to be the one to provide how it's possible that we can have gas pressure without a containment, according to like how they tell us the Earth as a globe is in an open system, which you went past a couple of points because you want to make your point. So we can't even address the fact that you don't want to even talk about the portion of the reason why, right? So you are just doing what you want and asking questions that are like going farther past like why you don't your reason for not understanding this whole thing right now.
I'm sorry, Gabe. I'm really sorry. I've only just got here, so my bad. That might be the case, Alpha. But I don't know what he's going to respond to. You've put to him, you can't have gas pressure without a container. You've said second law of thermodynamics. I don't know how he's going to respond to that. So that might be the case. It's kind of awkward for me to say, well, can we hear him respond anyway? Even if he has, I'm really sorry if he has already. Go ahead, Gabe.
No, that's not. By the way, that isn't a logical contradiction. Like, that's not a P and not P. Like, what? Like, I hope you realize that.
No, he's saying that either the vacuum of space is real, or the second law of thermodynamics.
No. That's not even what's being granted here. Look, you can say that there's an accessible world where the law of thermodynamics does not exist, and the vacuum of space does exist. I hope you realize that is an accessible world.
Sorry,
like,
just to be clear. Sorry, Gabe. I'm really sorry to do this. I'm sorry.
I just want to clarify. I'm not finished yet. I just want to clarify what I'm saying. Just the same way that you can say that, at least in our reality, gravity is contingent for reality. But
we can't.
It's not necessary. We just wait. But it's not necessary. It's not a necessary concept. So there's a nearly accessible world where gravity does not exist.
No,
that is granted in logical possibilities, right?
No, there isn't. Conceptual only.
Wait, what is the P and not P there? What is the P and not P there?
Just dude, chill.
You're not listening, Gabe. For crying out loud, dude.
Chill. Calm down.
Wait, what's the P and not P?
Please, can you just stop talking, Gabe? Gabe, you've told me that it is, according to you, because you've told us, just a world of acceptable contradiction where the second law doesn't apply. That's what you've just stated. And then when I stepped...
No, that's not what I said.
It's recorded.
Yeah, it was,
not
dude.
what I said.
Recorded. I know exactly what you said. It was recorded. I can hear you really clearly.
Did I say... Wait, I said that there's a...
I don't need you to keep talking. I'm talking. Stop interrupting me. I'm still talking. I'm responding to you. We don't need an endless summary of what you've said. It's recorded. I don't need you to jammer through me. I'm talking.
Just calm down.
I'm responding to you. There is no acceptable world that violates the second law, which is what you've just stated. Now, you can give me a cock waffle about how you haven't said it. You did. It's recorded. No, there is no world that's acceptable that violates the second law. The heliocentric world, as put to you, violates the second law of thermodynamics. Simple.
By the way, that's not what I said. I said that there is an acceptable world. Wait, just calm down. Look, I said.
Why are you telling me and the moderators to calm down? Oi, dickhead!
Just calm down.
That's what you said. It's recorded. Stop telling me to calm down. Don't tell the mods to calm down. We heard what you said, and we're telling you a third time. There's no world, like you said, that is possible that can be in contradiction with the second law. The second law of thermodynamics is a law, and the heliocentric world with a sky vacuum next to high pressure violates that law. Now, you can't have true both of them. It's simple. One or only other is true. You can't have both true. It's a contradiction to say both dispersion of gas laws are true and gas isn't dispersing. You can't have both. Simple.
But why can you pick and choose what rules?
Shut up. We're not talking to you. Shut up.
Anyway.
Okay, yeah. So the contradiction.
I'm only trying to bring you back for Alpha Veritas, right? Because I'm stepping in because you're saying it's not logically consistent. It is logic. Oh my god! I just want to pass back to Alpha Veritas because I'm stepping in because you're trying to squirm away from what he's put to you. That's it. I want to hand back to Alpha Veritas. He's put it to you. The second law of thermodynamics would be the dictation of this violation, your heliocentric world not having gas disperse into space. You'll say, "Oh, that's not illogical." Yeah, it is. So that's where we're at. I'll hand back to Alpha Veritas.
Okay, so just to be clear, the logical contradiction is that gases cannot disperse, and what else at the same time?
Gases disperse into volumes, except in your world where gases aren't dispersing into a volume called a vacuum, according to you. Gases fill space. What's that? There's a space. The gas. I haven't finished. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut your mouth!
Entropy.
Shut up! Shut up! He asked me to clarify. I'm clarifying. When I'm done, I'll say I'm finished. Is that clear? It's not rhetorical. Acknowledge that when I'm done, you understand I'll say I'm done. Is that clear,
What's
Gabe?
the contradiction?
Is he going to be unreasonable and start the debate up when I'm getting him to clarify that he won't yammer through me? When I am done, I will say I am done. Do you understand that until that time, you won't be talking?
Yeah, get a job, buddy.
What a wanker. He knows he's being bent over. He knows he's losing badly, so he's got to tell me to get a job. That's an ad hominem fallacy. Wants to talk about logic and then use a fallacy. No, mate, you keep yammering through me while I clarify the impeccable logic of the second law of thermodynamics. A law of nature. That nature states what occurs always by descriptive terms. It's only describing that which occurs always. What in this instance occurs always? Gas fills space. Always. What's that you say? It's not a contradiction that there's a space gas isn't filling. Dumbass. You're yammering through me. He's not going to get you the win. It's going to get me smirking at you and calling you a dumbass. What's that? Get a job? This, me doing this now, recorded for an audience, pays my mortgage. This is my job. Talking down to you as you scramble your brains to figure out where the contradiction lies and then yammer through me clarifying it for you. I'll make it explicitly clear for a third time because you didn't understand it from Alpha, and then you yammer through it being clarified by me. So let's get it absolutely explicably clear because you're obviously stupid and don't understand the contradiction. Point 1, law of nature, gas fills space. Point 2, the contradiction. Gas ain't filling space. There's a space above your head in your fantasy world that gas ain't filling. Is that clear enough for you, dum-dum?
Okay, yeah, if it's the case that entropy is a necessary concept for all accessible worlds.
It's a law of nature. Necessary? It's a freaking law. What do you mean necessary? It's a law of nature. Necessary. What are you talking about? Yes, it's necessary. It
Is it
describes that which
necessary?
occurs always. I'm overcoming your slight attempt to subvert this by saying if it's necessary. Necessary, son. No, it's describing that which occurs always. Oh, apart from in your worldview, where it ain't occurring. So a law of nature, a description of that which occurs always. What's that you say if it's necessary? That's not a rebuttal, son. It's a law of nature. It's just violated in your stupid worldview where gas is surrounded by a space it ain't filling. Violating that description of that which occurs always. Making your worldview a contradiction. It's the fifth time it's explained to you. Are you slow? You don't understand this violation of the second law? It's been explained to you 5 times.
Yeah.
Good.
You gave me the argument as to whether or not entropy is necessary for all. Wait, do you know what
I just did! You dumbass! It's not necessary. It's a law. It's describing that which occurs always. Why'd you ask if it's necessary? Are you asking me if whether or not something that's described as being occurring always is necessary? Yet that which occurs always will never be described as being necessary or not. It's always occurring. Again, I'll repeat for the 6th time. Except in your dumbass globe worldview that you don't seem to want to be addressing in this regard. We're only detailing these facts of life, that's laws of nature, that occur always when you question if they're necessary. Yeah, they're necessary, son. They're occurring always. Except in your dumbass globe worldview.
Yeah, that didn't answer my question, by the way.
It wasn't a question.
Yeah,
I wasn't addressing any questions. I was stating a fact. The contradiction's been pointed out to you by Veritas. Your world stands in contradiction with the second law of thermodynamics. There was no question from you.
You just told me that entropy, or the second law of thermodynamics, is not necessary. So if it's not...
No, I didn't say that. He's lying. Can you just mute him? I did not in any way
What?
say that the second law of thermodynamics is not necessary. You're a lying shitbag, lying about things I haven't said. At no point did the words, the second law of thermodynamics is not necessary, cross my lips. He's a lying bastard. How dare you? You lying shit. I said it's a law of nature and it's occurring always. Does that sound like is not necessary to a lying shit-stained globe believer who's having his worldview have a giant dump taken on it by a man named Nathan Oakley? No, mate, you tried to infer whether or not if statements would be applied to laws of nature, making them necessitated or not with the word necessary. Notice how I can actually keep up with what you're saying, as opposed to the shit-stained globe-believing asshole behaviour, where you change the words I tell you, and then phrase it like you've been asking questions here. There's no questions being asked, you're being told. Your world of globe stands in contradiction with the second law of thermodynamics. It's the 7th time you've been told. Do you understand now, boy?
Yeah, that didn't address anything that I said. I asked you whether or not the second law of thermodynamics is
You didn't ask me anything. I was stepping in for Alpha Veritas. You're not asking me jack. You're not asking me anything, boy. You're not asking me anything. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I've stepped in because you're not addressing Alpha. You think you're in a debate with me asking me anything. You're not asking me jack, son. I'm stepping in because you've ignored Alpha Veritas. That's why. You're not asking me jack. There's no question, you stupid idiot. I just addressed this 35 seconds ago. Are you dense? Are you deaf? There's no question from you to me, you stupid boy. Address the violation of the law of non-contradiction in the form of gas-filling space described in the second law, put to you by Veritas, and you say it's not logically inconsistent. Retard! Address him! Are you dumb?
It's the case that the second law of thermodynamics is not necessary for all accessible.
It's a law of nature, you stupid boy! Not necessary. Kick this dumbass to the curb. You're done, stupid boy. You're telling us that laws of nature aren't necessary. Are you a retard? You're going to tell me that a law of nature's not needed? Piss off. You're a dunce. Get lost, dunce. Don't tell me laws of nature aren't needed. Piss off.
Be careful with that. He's gonna
Who's this? White Knight time. Got White Knight charging in. Yo, Dumbo. Don't tell us that laws of nature aren't needed, you complete retard. Hello,
Why
retard.
always?
Talking to you, retard. You just told us that laws of nature aren't necessary. You're going to tell us it's not what you said when it's being recorded, you stupid stuttery dumbass.
Yeah, by necessary, I just mean that there are accessible worlds that can exist without the second law
So by
thermodynamics.
unneeded, it's absolutely required then. Yeah, we know. It's just not applicable to your world where there's a sky vacuum around high pressure gas. It was put to you 8 times, mate. And then you told us it wasn't needed, so you were removed from this conversation for being a Dumbo.
Yeah,
being a Dumbo that's now interrupting me. When I demean him, he thinks he needs to talk through me because he's also belligerent. You belligerent dumbass. You told us a law wasn't needed. That makes you a belligerent dumbass when you talk through me insulting you for that stupidity. Now sit your dumbass down. We're done with you. Sorry, Veritas. I didn't mean to have to step in. He thought he was having a conversation with me asking questions. I'm really sorry taking your thunder.
Yeah, no, it's fine, man. It's about time anyways. You're doing a pre-show, so it was pretty much I was trying to get something set up so that you come in and usually this room is jam-packed with individuals like this, so good timing, yeah.
Be careful.
You did everything.
Go get a job.
All he did was fail to concede the point you won. So now I'll just step all over him, call him a dumbass for 10 minutes. No worries. You'd already won. I didn't do anything. You did it all, Alpha. Other than there was a point at the end of you winning where he could pretend like you hadn't won. So I stepped in to just piss all over that bonfire he was trying to light after you'd won. Because you had.
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it, man. So we are at the... Go
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Nathan.
I was just going to say, meanwhile, the conclusion should come and get reiterated for those listening. Space isn't real. It's a complete violation of the laws of nature that describe that which occurs always. Without exception, gas fills space. The area above your head's not space. Called a vacuum, where the ISS is having men being rescued from it. Total nonsense, complete lies. It's not Narnia. You haven't got an area where there's Star Wars occurring and men in spacesuits. Why are they in suits? So that the gas doesn't fill the space from their spacesuit as they look back on an Earth without a suit around it. But the gas doesn't disperse. It's all cool. No, it's a complete fantasy world that violates the law of nature. And when we put that to people, they squirm over and over again and talk through me. That's belligerence and rudeness in the face of them just being wrong, not understanding how laws of nature work, telling us how laws don't apply to the world, and how there's a logical framework where they don't need to work. Yet we deal with retards who have a fantasy and will punch stupid idiotic nonsense through the top of us as we correct how stupid they are with laws of nature. And in the face of that, they'll tell us, oh, well, it doesn't really need to be there, this law of nature. Much better that we just fantasize about a ball Earth in a sky vacuum and forget about laws of nature and what occurs always and how we describe that. Because my ball in a sky vacuum doesn't really need that second law. I mean, why would we need that? Yeah, wanker, piss off. You're a dickhead with a religion about a ball in a sky vacuum and it's not real. Meanwhile, we measure Earth flat. Everything about it. Altitude, in terms of how high you go up to look at a flat Earth, which is your original question, will be measured off a flat plane. Sea level, that's how you get altitudes. How high you are off the ground. Yeah, you'll need a flat plane for that, because you're perpendicular to it. When you go up vertically, everything about the world's measured flat, including heights to look back at the flat ground that we're definitely measuring if we know how high we are. So, yeah, Earth's definitely flat. We'll definitely be looking down on it from a position that we've measured from a flat plane perpendicular to it in an area that's contained so we can be breathing. We're not going to be going up to some area of volume that gas isn't filling, looking back on clouds on a blue marble where gas doesn't disperse into volumes, because it's violating the second law of thermodynamics for us to look back on how flat it is to respond to this dumbass's question.
Wow, that was wonderfully said. If you can't understand that after that ramble, I don't know what's going on.
The only
thing is, if you're going to say the second law is a gas container, then we have to have a dome, correct?
Right, nobody said those words. Nobody mentioned the word dome. You've just claimed it. That's your claim, right?
I'm not saying you said it. I'm asking a question.
No, you said it. So you say dome. Where's your dome? Prove it. You said it. Nobody else did.
So what's holding the gas pressures inside the Earth?
You say it's a dome. Why would you say it? Have you seen it? Have you touched it? Have you touched it?
Gakushi. Let me come in here. Gakushi, hold on a second. So he came in here the other night, this guy, Gakushi, and was saying that he's heard on the internet a lot of flat earthers speaking about what flat earth is. And I've had a conversation with him about it because he's trying to bring kind of like a stereotype fallacy of what flat earth. Hold on, Gakushi, don't interrupt this. So basically, he's saying that because of what he's heard, and he's coming in here kind of saying it now. So I identified that the reason why he's saying that is because he's using that stereotype fallacy to address the reason why this is or is not the case. So just a kind of a point of clarification for Nathan is the reason why he's asking these questions, because that's what he's
beautifully
forward.
put. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've got method in my madness, and obviously that method's defied if I start describing his stereotype fallacy. I lean into it though, don't I, Alpha? So it's no longer a stereotype fallacy because no one said it. So it's just him that's saying it, right? So his dome is what it's become. It was an attempt at a stereo fallacy. Now it's his dumbass dome that he's going to be asked about whether or not he's touched. Have you touched this dome, Gak? Have you touched it?
Okay, you're misunderstanding the question.
I understood what you said. You said dome, right? Nobody else said it other than you. Did you touch that dome you talked about, Gak? Dumbo, did you touch it? You talked about it a minute ago. You mentioned it. I didn't fail to understand the words that crossed your lips. You said dome.
Listen,
have you touched it?
You
dome you're claiming.
You said the second law prevents the gas leaving the earth, right?
No, those words didn't cross my lips. I said gas fills space as described by the second law of thermodynamics. It seems that you want to insert words I haven't said after you've suggested a dome you haven't touched. Have you proved your dome, dum-dum? Where's the dome you talked about? Did you touch it?
I'm not claiming there's a dome.
Yeah, you are. I heard you. Dum-dum,
No,
did anybody else say dome? Hey, shut up, dum-dum. Shut up, now you're a liar. Shut up. Did anybody else here, other than Gak, say the word dome, or was it only him that had that word cross his lips? Was it just him? I'm pretty sure it was just you, Gak.
But no one's claiming you claim there's a dome. I don't know why you keep saying
You are claiming a dome, though, aren't you? Have you
question.
touched the dome you're claiming? The dome you want to claim, Gak? Have you touched it, you
I'm not
dum-dum?
claiming you said there's a dome. Why do you keep saying
You
that?
said it. I didn't suggest that you were suggesting I'd said it. I heard you say it. I'm asking if you've touched it. The one you said that you were talking
I did say
about.
it, yes. No, I haven't touched it.
You said you had touched it, and then you said you hadn't. Which one is it?
I never said I touched it. What are you talking about?
So why are you claiming it, you dum-dum? If you haven't touched the dome, why would you be claiming it?
I never claimed there's a dome.
Yeah, you did. I heard you. You're the only one that mentioned the word, you stupid dumbass. It's the fourth time I've told you. Do you need me to play back your own stupid dumbass words about a dome?
Go play it again. Yeah, go play it again.
Yeah, we all heard you, dum-dum. You claimed a dome that you haven't touched. Well, then stop claiming it, you stupid idiot. Was this what you wanted to be saying to me, by the way, Gak? By any chance?
No, I was asking a question.
That was very high-pitched.
There's a dome, and then you assume that
Very
I'm saying you
high-pitched.
said there is a dome. I never said that.
I didn't say that, Dome. You did. You claimed it. You're a domer. You seem to be the one talking about domes, not me. I'm asking you if you've touched your dome you mentioned. And then you went all high-pitched. No, you say, I'm not claiming. Really? You're the only one talking about it, dum-dum. Don't, if you haven't touched it. Let's not be making stupid claims about domes there, Gak. You look very stupid when you do that, like you did. It is recorded you're the only one who did it. You're the only one who said dome, aren't you now, son? But obviously you would prefer that you were talking about a dome that someone else that isn't you said, but that didn't happen. So instead, you're the one getting called dumb while you claim a dome. Okay there, Gak?
I don't know. Maybe one of your fellow buddies could help you with this question because
Your question of a dome you haven't touched. Just go and touch your dome that you're claiming there, Gak, and then you'll have your answers. Don't put it on other people to go and touch your dome that you're stupid enough to claim here. You go touch it, dum-dum. Can't frickin' believe what's happening, can you, Gak? You wanted to force this stereotype fallacy on me, and yet you're the one being called a dumb about the dome. Don't talk through me, son. Don't talk through me, Gak, you unreasonable prick. Wanker, you don't get to talk through me while I tell you off for being stupid and claiming domes here. Yeah, you wanted to do it to me, and yet you can't frickin' believe what's happening. I'm calling you a dumbass for your dome, and you can't quite believe it. No! High-pitched reply, Gak. Yeah, you can't quite frickin' believe your ears. You want to be calling me stupid for my dome that I ain't claiming. Then you're foisting upon me by stereotype. It was assessed and summarised beautifully by Alpha. But now that's been reversed and you are the one having it foisted upon you and being called dumb, and you don't quite like it, do you? No.
They think we woke up just yesterday.
I mean,
You're stuttering. Yeah, we know, Gak. We know you're stuttering and stammering. You can't quite frickin' believe your ears and what's happening. We know you can stutter your way through a sentence after I put you in your place with your dome you wanted to stereotype us with. It didn't work. You got told off for your stupid dome, didn't you, Dumbo? Yeah, just keep your mouth shut. It's not going to fail to launch on this platform, mate. Okay? It's exploded on the platform. That's you, metaphorically.
Again, you didn't comprehend the question. It's fine.
Oh, he's telling me I don't understand. What a wonderful, glorious ad hominem response. I don't understand your dome, you said, stuttery. Yeah, I do. Don't claim a dome if you haven't touched it, dum-dum, because you'll get called a dum-dum.
I could ask it again if you want, but...
What about your dome you ain't touched? No, we already assessed your dome you ain't touched. You ain't touched it, and we called you dumb for claiming it. Go touch your dome, dum-dum. Why haven't you gone and touched your dome you keep wanting to talk about?
I thought you were a little
Stuttery!
bit more...
Why haven't you gone and touched your dome, Stuttery? I haven't. Why haven't you gone and touched your dome, Stuttery?
I never claimed I touched the dome.
You're the only one who's claiming a dome, so why don't you go touch it, dum-dum? Go on, bugger off and go and find your dome so you can touch it and report back. Have you gone and touched it yet, dum-dum? You still here? Why aren't you out looking for your dome that you keep wanting to talk about? Have you gone and touched it yet?
You call this reasonable conversation?
No, I call it a stereotyping fallacy that's been foisted back upon you. It's only reasonable if you're calling me dumb about a dome I haven't claimed and you're using in stereotype. Is it only reasonable when you call me dumb, when you charge me with proving a dome that you've bought up? Is it only reasonable when you're the intolerable wanker making demands by stereotype? It's reasonable then, yeah, asshole. No, what's happened is your unreasonable stereotype that you wanted to use here has been uno reversoed. And the exact standard that you wanted to be using is being used on you, and you cannot quite believe it. So suddenly that standard you wanted to use on me, being used on you, is unreasonable. Squirm for me, it makes me very happy. Tell me how unreasonable it is. Domer.
You sound like you have issues, bud.
Oh, really? Do I sound like I've got issues when I call you a domer and call you stupid? You bought up a dome, you haven't touched it, that makes you dumb. That's pretty clear and concise. That's not my issue. That's your dumbass issue. You talking through me in defeat is you showing what a bitch you are. Because you're yammering through me, telling you off and summarising your defeat there. What actually happened was you were hoping this would be your win and you'd get to call me stupid for a dome I haven't claimed. Right, domer, go and find your dumbass dome you bought up, dum-dum. Off you go, Dumbo! Yeah?
Okay, are you done? Can I respond now?
Am I done with my Uno Reverso card? No, dumbass, I'm not done. Have you found your dome yet, Dumbo? No, I'm not done. Did you find that dome you wanted to bring up, Dumbo, or not? You seem to have gone very silent. Where's that dome you brought up? Did you find it? Just a protracted silence there. Am I done? What, teabagging you? No, I'm not done. I'll do it all day. With the Uno Reverso card, the one that you thought you'd be playing. Did you want to take the piss out of me for a dome there? It didn't work, did it? Lesson learned, maybe? Or maybe you're going to ask me if I'm done. No, I'll carry on humiliating you. No, I'm not done. Definitely not. Did you find your dome? I'll go even slower. Really labour how much I think you're dense. Did you find your dome yet, Dumbo? Am I done? No, I can drag this humiliation out for hours. My name's Nathan Oakley, and when you start talking about your stupid dome that you haven't touched, I'll drag out this humiliation till the ends of time. Ask me if I'm done again, sunshine. Done asking you for your dome you bought up? Nah, definitely not. Yeah, enjoy the aftertaste.
It sounds like you're actually more riled up about Alpha bringing up the fact that the stereotype thing than the actual question. That's why you keep running your mouth like that.
Oh, really? Summarize the stereotype thing, end quote you. Summarize that stereotype thing.
Okay, I'll summarize it. What I asked was, Do you think there's a dome? I never claimed there's a dome. I never claimed you claimed there's a dome. What I asked you was a question. Do you think there's a dome? It's a yes or no question.
I think
I never
you
claimed
obviously
anything.
do.
I
think we can assume
that I was going to get you in the
you
gut,
do, given you're bringing it
for some
up.
reason, and you couldn't answer the question.
Oh, I think you obviously do,
Well,
given
that's
you're the
3 days
only
ago.
one talking about it and you incessantly bring it up. It's like I thought we'd got past this conversation. My God, this Domer, he only want to talk about domes. Is that all you've got to talk about, Domer? Did you go and find the dome that you can't stop bleeding talking about? Did you find it yet? You can't shut up about domes. Dumbo, go find your dome. You're the only one bringing it up non-stop. What's the next thing you're going to talk about? Domes again? Go and find your dumbass dome.
Yeah, no problem. If you want to run away from that combo, we can move on.
What about domes that you can't shut up about? No, Domer. Just go and find your stupid dome. Can't quite frickin' believe your ears again, eh? Eh? Was it your intention to be having this conversation with me and telling me that I don't know where my dome is? Oh, isn't it a shock? You can't quite believe it, yeah? Uno reverso. What you got, son? Where's your cards? Oh, what's that? You got no cards left? Oh, that's a shame. Dumbo, go find your dome that you can't shut up about. Yeah, all those people out there that love ridiculing flat earthers, they're met me, have they? Yeah, I got a pocket full of Uno reversos. Just throw them at all of you. What's that? This proves a globe? It sounds like you need a flat earth for this. You might be getting shouted at for using the flat earth. We'll see how you all get on. Or we'll have lots of stony silences with me describing how globe believers are complete retards, like that guy and the guy before. Both of them were retarded. It seemed to me like both of them were dropped on their heads. And I would suggest that every globe-believing idiot in this server is just like them by stereotype fallacy. I mean, it's not like I'm suggesting he and everyone like him would have a dome. I mean, would be dropped on their head and are retarded. No, it's not like I would use stereotype fallacies like you've used for the last 10 years on us. Yeah, I can. It's totally unreasonable. Maybe I'll be told how unreasonable it is when I start using what you've done to us for 10 years. It's just I'll give it with a side of flat earth evidence in the form of measurements of a flat earth that we measure while I'm doing it, just so we're all clear what's going to be happening today.
Nathan, we have Nate who was in here prior, and he's got his mic open, but he was on about this meta conversation, talking about your platform and how you do things, and I was telling him he was so happy to talk about it earlier, but it was a bit disgruntled, I guess. I don't know if he wants to chime in and maybe ask a question pertaining to the topic. If not, I don't know what he'd be doing here.
Don't. But how do you expect to have a good faith conversation if you're already attacking me? But I'm just here to listen.
He's kind of.
Oh, really? Now you're just here to listen? When you were chatty Cathy.
Oh God! I can't believe he's made me do this immediately. Slick.
I was
right,
just
Alpha.
asking
You poisoned
what
the
you guys
well.
thought of Nathan Oakley.
He's
And
moaning.
you said, please don't ask that. If you want, I can continue on that. But you got really upset about that. So I won't.
What? He got
He was
upset about what?
upset because you were bringing him up and he wasn't here yet. And now that he's here, you can have your conversation that you were having.
Go ahead, Nate.
I mean, my question is, with how aggressive you are with people, how do you expect to convince people unless this is just for
Your
entertainment?
microphone is
Let me answer
too
him.
horrible to start
Hold on.
complaining like
That's a
this,
question.
but-
Let me answer him. His question is,
Can I-
given how
Come on,
aggressive I am, how do I expect to convert people? That's his question. Fine. No worries.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Couldn't give a shit. Don't care what you believe.
See? Entertainment.
All right, got it.
Earth's measured flat regardless of your belief. I don't have to convert you.
I'm not talking about that.
My bad. You go ahead. I'll go get a coffee. You took yourself out.
Where's your dome, Nathan?
Did somebody say dome?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
guy in the chat who's addicted to domes.
He boot scooted though.
He left?
Yeah.
Flat Earth dome across the top. What's wrong with that?
That's a
Dude,
globe. The globe is the dome. That's engineering.
It doesn't go all the way around, therefore it's a dome. Like a stadium. Inside, flat, dome over
Yeah.
top.
Yeah,
Arc.
like the globe.
Never mind.
It's like imagine thinking domes don't work if it's curved. So unless it's flat, the dome will work. If it's curved, the dome doesn't work.
Are you claiming
It's
a
like,
dome?
holy shit.
I guess you're refusing the idea of an
Nate
actual
or Newt.
NFL stadium.
Nathan.
This is great.
I was just asking if it sounded like someone was claiming a dome. I only just went. My wife said, "Do you want me to make this coffee?" And I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, please." So I'm back. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the dome conversation continued.
Who brought it up? Just out of interest.
Welcome to Newt.
Pickle.
Newt.
Why do you call him Pickle?
Oh, it's
He
my
goes
other
by
name.
that
I don't
sometimes.
mind.
Original name.
That's
By
my
the way,
mic sound.
pickles need containment too.
That's my mic sound, Neil. I'm trying out my daughter's new mic.
Oh, look, guys, look. Crit's worst nightmare made his channel, and he named it Nathan Oakley is a scammer. He's spam pinging right now.
Whoa, that's desperate.
I'm Michael, right, Neil?
Crit, your favorite fan is online.
Yeah, I know.
Sound like
Like,
that?
I lost it. Like now he's on.
Neil,
Nathan
is my mic
instead.
alright? Am I putting shit
It's
to
like
the plosives in
whoever's
it?
voice he hears, just
Yeah, the
triggers
mic
him.
is good.
No
Like,
plosives,
rather
right?
than like understanding
Nope.
what's being presented,
Wicked.
rather than
Thanks.
like thinking of a counter argument or whatever, he just freaks out.
So back to who was being asking that question, and Newt was coming in here declaring that it's the case. So if Newt wants to have that conversation with Nathan about it, because he was saying that prior to Nathan stepping out. So go ahead, Newt.
No, I was just saying if you run your hand across the table flat, if you arc it and you go across dome, it can exist. It's a stadium, so the idea isn't absurd.
So
and
waving your hand
it's not a
about proves
globe
it.
and it's not a sphere because it doesn't go all the way around. It stops at 180. You see? Okay.
None of that made any sense to me. I'm really sorry.
He's claiming a dome too.
Oh, let me put it in side chat. Help you.
I'm good. I don't need any help, honest. But thanks.
You're not
you
waving
are.
your hand
That's
the
the
right
thing.
way, Nathan.
I'm
You've
not
gotta
waving
wave
them
it
at
in
all.
an
I'm waiting for a
arc pack.
coffee. The question made no sense. I can't do anything with it. So there's a diagram to go with it. Isn't going to help me.
But what's so hard about just saying without containment, we have no pressure? End of story.
It's only asserted as a result of other people asserting they know what the sky is. I don't know what the sky is. But if you want to tell me it's a vacuum, okay, well, you can't have gas pressure without containment. If you're suggesting that the sky is completely uncontained vacuum at 10 to the minus 17 torr, I'm going to go with no. Gas would fill that space. What's that? Space? You call it space? Yeah, they're just laughing at you. Fine. I'm not claiming I know what the sky is.
No, what they try to do is they try to say, since you can't show us a container, they're going to tell you it's gravity keeping the gas pressure here on Earth.
I don't care what they claim. Gas fills space. What's that? Gravity. Okay, you're going to suggest that Einsteinian, pseudo-Riemannian, fourth-dimensional space-time bending in a mathematical conception a man invented 110 years ago stops gas filling space in line with entropic dispersion laws. Okay, you can believe that. Good for you. On you go. You want to believe that? Fine. No worries. Good for you. You can have your belief. Meanwhile, I'm not going to put a law of nature into an if statement. If we need the second law, no, that just describes how gas behaves always. It always fills space without exception. It's a law of nature. What's that? We're back to, no, gravity. Okay, if you want to believe pseudo for space-time bending holds gravity, violating the second law of thermodynamics, then believe that. Fine. I don't care. Believe what you like. That a short pause? Should I do it? So you're hearing me on the Shure MX412 with a 185 cardioid cartridge on the end of it. This mic setup is about £300, $420 worth of microphone, which I got from a pawnbroker for £40, about a tenth of its value. No, not a tenth, but a lot less than it should be. And this is how it sounds. Also ordered a low bar cartridge for it, which is about 10 centimeters long, shotgun mic basically, but on the end of a gooseneck. And today I've put in an offer on a hypercardioid cartridge. I'll see how that sounds. Why not? Try them on my daughter, see which one sounds best. But for the time being, I want to see what it sounds like on my voice just for a couple of shows. And to see if it works reliably.
Coming in pretty crispy, Nathan.
This should be the most accurate of all of them because it's only half a cent. I think it's 0.9 centimeters, 9mm cartridge. Smaller the cartridge, the better, the more accurate. Basically, the bigger the cartridge, diaphragm, whatever you want to describe it as, the more coloured, but in a way that typically is nice and pleasant to the human ear. So that's why you see people tucking into the big, massive microphones with a big diaphragm in them, because it does colour the sound. It's not very accurate, but it's pleasing to the ear. This is the other end of the scale. So this type of mic could be used on instruments, on like a little clip, or on a measurement mic. Things like that have tiny little diaphragms. Very, very accurate. But that isn't necessarily pleasing on the voice. So this is a very small diaphragm condenser microphone. Very cool. Probably not the one I'll be using, but I've bought it for my daughter, who's decided that she wants to be like Daddy. She wants to do podcasts and stuff. Oh, couldn't be more proud. But yeah, so this is the Eleanor microphone, if you will. A Shure condenser gooseneck. Should really talk about what we're doing as we're about to go live rather than what microphone I'm talking to you on, but I like new microphones. It's kind of like new mic day to me. Anyway, in about 3 minutes we'll go live. Please do not swear. Generally speaking, there are, in all sincerity, kids listening to the show in the background or whatever. Right, mine not so much. They're on the other side of a soundproof door. But other people who do have their kids. Go ahead.
Where are you streaming the show?
One more time, sorry.
Oh, where are you streaming the show, sir?
Channel goes out on Nathan Oakley 1980, all one word. So in literally 60 seconds, That's where you can pick up the live stream. But just don't play the audio from the live stream on YouTube, or you will cause audio chaos.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll do an intro.
You.
You'll hear me give sort of stipulations and ask you not to swear again when I do my intro in 30 seconds.
How are you?
Hey.
I'm very well, Neil. As I say, we're in politics today, so hopefully one of my mods in the YouTube live stream will stick out a link to the politics Discord server today, so you can join that. Very good server, not just flat Earth, lots and lots of subjects covered in this server. Very diverse group of people, all lovely, as I'm sure you can all imagine. Fun has been had by all in the pre-show, so if you're one of my members, you can check that out once the recording comes out later on this afternoon. In the meantime, as is always the case on a Friday, we may have protracted silences if there's limited brave souls from the globe side who decide to pipe up now we're obviously live, and I've done a formal introduction for them in the Discord server. So if there are some protracted silences, that's just the way it goes on a Friday. How are you, Neil?
I'm good. Where's your dome?
What dome? I didn't claim a dome.
You say we have gas pressure, so where's the dome?
I say we have gas pressure. Yeah, we do have gas pressure, Neil. Are you telling me that that's in contention?
No, I think they all understand that, but they have to put the dome on us so they can turn around and say,
what
well,
dome?
where's the dome?
What dome? Keep telling me I've got
the dome
dome.
they keep talking about.
We're definitely breathing gas pressure. Now, I can make a statement of fact about containment with regards to gas pressure. Without containment, there can be no pressure. It's actually a Conspiracy Cats quote, teacher. But nevertheless, aside from globe believers and their quotes about needing containment for gas pressure, I can just state the fact that we do have gas pressure. We do. What's that? You now infer we must have a dome? Well, prove your dome that you now infer. Oh, no, I'd much prefer that you were inferring it. Squirm, squirm. Oh, well, I don't care. We're breathing. What's that? The sky's a vacuum? Sod off. No, it isn't. Violation of the second law of thermodynamics. The sky is not a vacuum. Is there any evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container?
Yes.
Go on, show me.
Astronauts just landed. They were lost in space for 9 months. They were rescued by the Don.
Like your appeal to stories from Narnia, stories from a space that gas is not filling in violation of the natural law, is your begging the question way of suggesting you've got proof that gas does not require containment to be at pressure? I'm going to go with no, Neil. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with no. What about any evidence of the distance to the sun?
I can give you an angle, but altitude isn't height in celestial terms, but an angle from flat.
Yeah, what you're saying is you can give me an altitude angle, but an altitude angle doesn't give you the altitude of a star. It's the angle of the star, useful for deriving ground positions and such like. But it's not the height. Yeah? Well, the heliocentrists have got a 93 million mile height that they've derived from flat plane measurements of angles also. But my bait obviously isn't being taken. So brave souls want to lean into their heliocentric distances to planets and such like. Well, shocking. Any scientific evidence of gravity?
They don't even have a phenomenon.
I can't even tell you what gravity is.
And they're not?
No idea. Next question.
I was going to say that. No idea.
That's a Tyson quote. No idea. Next question is what he said to Joe Rogan, correct? Or was it? No, it wasn't Joe Rogan. It was some chick on some space talk thing, was it not?
Yeah, it was one of those things. Some lady he told that to. What's gravity? No idea. Next question.
Oh, you gotta love Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I mean, that's the astrophysicist, the supposed science communicator. That's literally his mission, is to run around the world and teach people about this crap, right? And his response to what's gravity is no idea. Next question. But we'll have Mr. Random Joe guy, Glober, come and tell us all about it. That's adorable to me.
Well, we've been asking for scientific evidence of it for quite some time.
Well, you just got to give it time. The astronauts that came back said they have a lot of things they're going to discuss about gravity and its effects on mankind. It's going to cure cancer, Alzheimer's, all these wonderful things.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Future faking with gravity now, are they? Unbelievable. They're creating false medical hope with gravity. I can't quite believe my ears.
You ain't kidding.
My God. We are in dark times, aren't we? Wow. I have no idea what's going on in current affairs, in case you're wondering why this is astonishing to me. I haven't got a TV, I don't listen to the radio. So I didn't know any of that. Wow. I suppose if you're in for a penny, if you're going to claim you've done a rescue mission from Narnia, you might as well claim you've done some science. Why not? In for a penny, in for a pound, right?
150 experiments.
They didn't
It
do
goes
any.
with the narrative. Trust the science, right? I mean, the best globe argument is trust me, bro. So you might as well incorporate that with trust the science, and Bob's your uncle.
Science is back, baby.
Any evidence? Any evidence of the R value, Earth radius? Politics. Show us what you've got. Got an audience, 60 people watching this currently. We've only just started. Please share the show if you've not done so already. We've only got 60 people because people share the show. Smash that share button if you've not done so already. But to you people in politics, you people not being a slur on anybody in particular, but you globe believers, poor show. Surely we can get some answers to these questions. Distance to the sun, scientific evidence of gravity. You'd think you'd have loads of it. Just a lot of globe believers happy to display their content belief in a sphere Earth that they're definitely not standing on. Fine, fine. We'll keep them coming. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge, formerly known as Earth curve? Anybody at all? Anybody got any Earth curve? Just a little bit of Earth curve, maybe? Maybe a little bit of Earth curve? No? All right, well, that's a shame, isn't it? You'd think in a room with dozens and dozens of people in that somebody would have evidence of their belief in a sphere. I mean, what are we going to prove Earth's flat when we come to the measurements of your belief by assertion that we're not getting? We're never going to get to the flat Earth proof at this rate. We need one of you to assert that you live on a ball so we can take your suggested proof and point out where Earth gets measured flat with it. I mean, that's the game, and if you didn't know that's what's going to get played, I might as well just lay my cards on the table. Any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety? A little bit of Earth rotation proofsies, go on, just a little one. No axial rotation evidence? Let's make it easier on them. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics. Any of them.
Oh, yeah, that's an easy one.
Maybe the question needs dumbing down. Any science for your ball in a vacuum belief? Literally at all. We'll accept anything. Any scientific evidence of your spinning ball in a sky vacuum religion? Come on, one of you must think you've got some science. You've got all these science communicators around you. I only heard Dave Farina the other day saying he was a science communicator. Did he not communicate with any of you guys? You guys out there, science communicators? What's going on? My name's Nathan Oakley. I'm a flat earther whooping around a load of dumbasses who think they're on a ball. Surely they've got some science with all you science communicators out there. What's wrong? You're not doing your job very well, science communicators, if I, a flat earther, can ask you numpties for science and get stone cold silence and crickets. Come on. Seriously? None of you got any scientific evidence for your spinning ball globe Earth belief? Very wise. What about La La Land? Let's go there. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth? I mean, if these guys don't give us anything to bite on, we will have to lead you into the flat Earth proofsies that we have to offer on a Friday. I don't mind proactively starting with them, but we have to form it in housekeeping like it's a question to you, to get you involved, you know, make you feel welcome, feel encouraged. I'm a guest here, by the way. No? What about any evidence that you can acquire an elevation angle measurement from a curved baseline? No? That's because Earth gets measured flat. Mapped, charted, built upon, flown across, sailed upon, flat. Earth is flat. That's how it gets measured. Starting with elevation angles. Now, it turns out that quite a few globe-believing numpties, some of them who call themselves science communicators, have turned to utilising flat Earth measurements to make dipshit numpty globe Earth assertions, or worse still, utilisation of flat Earth measurements to suggest that Earth isn't flat. Idiots and frauds that they are. Nevertheless, I'm here to correct that garbage and let you all know that things like heights in an upward direction will always be perpendicular to a plane of reference and measured with respect to it. The clue is in the title.
Hello?
When you get heights off sea level. Perpendicular to a plane in all instances. That's how that will be measured. Actual heights. So if, for instance, you were to, I don't know, send up a balloon to a very high altitude, that would be a flat Earth prerequisite for the measurement of height above a plane of reference. Reference to what, you say? Sea level. How all heights are measured always. So you're going to need a flat Earth to be sending up balloons to be suggesting that you're looking at Earth curve we debunked in 2020 with the Black Swan. There is no Earth curve. The maths that's asserted for your fantasy when you go up, that's with respect to a plane, in a balloon to look at the horizon, is mathematically derived from a flat plane also. It's surface level in Earth curve maths. Earth is flat and will be measured as such. Again, for your height above it, to derive a differential parallel with it. That's the surface of Earth that you measured flat when you claim Earth curve mathematics. Earth's always, and has always, and will always be measured flat. I think we covered all the housekeeping questions, did we not, gentlemen of the panel? Did I miss any? 70 people watching. Please smash the share button if you've not done so already. All right. Segue number 2.
Or did I miss that?
Nothing, we just did housekeeping. We only just started, we're a quarter of an hour into the live show. You awake now, Adam? Still taste the toothpaste, I am in no doubt. Well, as we're preaching and not getting very much interaction from the politics Discord server, I'll move on to my next point. Typically on a Friday, well, I won't tell you what we've done in the previous year because we did it in the previous year. This year, we're readdressing people's lack of science acumen, their inability to appreciate how science is used to prove things. That's all it does. So when science, in name only, is claimed to be applied, knowing what the methodology of science is useful to you, I'm talking directly to the people in the panel on Discord, if you're going to identify what is not science, that is to say, cause and effect reasoning that has been through the scientific methodology of establishing the cause of an effect by way of systematic experimentation based on a hypothesis, or scientific prediction, as hypothesis is
Yo,
otherwise known.
brother, can you show us the science of flat earthers?
That's a category error. Flat Earth is a description of a plane of measurement that you would utilise when
Can
measuring
you show
Earth,
me some
as opposed to cause and effect
documentation or
reasoning
whatever?
based on acquisition of a phenomena and then methodology where you establish the cause of said phenomena through methodology that involves hypothesis construction.
Okay, you're
in a
capable
category
of
error.
connecting some
I'm answering
random
your
words to a
question, and
sentence.
you have done nothing but ramble through my answer since I've started to answer your category
Can
error
you show
that you
some
interrupted me with.
documentation?
So I've been interrupted non-stop since you've started this discussion, back and forth. You're in a category error. You have science for a plane. That's idiotic. Now I'm just getting silence. Presumably he's had to be muted because he wasn't prepared to have a back and forth discussion. He was only prepared to assert a category error and then not stop talking through the response.
Do you wanna answer to my question or not?
Do I want to tell you it's a category error again? I already have responded.
So do you have any science to prove it or no?
You dumbass. It's a category error. It's the third time I've told you. Are you retarded? Were you dropped on your head? Do you understand the words that cross my lips in
Why
response
are
to
you
your category
screaming
error?
now? Why are you
Science
getting
establishes
mad?
the
I'm
cause
just
of an effect. There is no cause or effect when you describe a plane of reference. That's not a phenomena. A phenomena is something occurring, something happening. Science starts with you observing something happening. Is a flat plane something happening? No. I'm dealing with a retard in a category error. Asking me about the science of a plane? Wow, that's stupid. It's only the third time I've said it to him. Maybe if he could shut his frickin' mouth when I answered the first time, he'd understand his stupid dumbass category error, as it was answered in the first instance, without even me pausing. I urge you, you stupid retard. Science of flat earth, you say, dipshit? It's a Category error, you stupid dick! Do you want to carry on yammering through me, educating everyone here about what science is, so they don't have a flat earther named Nathan Oakley shouting at them for their category error? Do you want to respond to me, you insubordinate little shit? Sit down and shut up! Teaching people what science is here, while you ask me for the science of flat earth, you retard, presumably globe-believing. There is no science for a plane. Science deals with cause and effect. Step 1. Observe natural phenomena. That is something happening. So you can go on to say, I wonder what caused that to happen, and presume a cause for the effect. Because you're going to be varying said presumed cause, because once you've assumed something that can cause it, you've got a hypothesis. That's if A, my presumed cause, then B, the phenomena I observed at step 1. That's a if and then cause and effect relationship. Does this retard want to insert a plane into that logic? Oh, you can't. A plane isn't something happening. Maybe this retard globe-believing spastic felt his justified interruption needs to be clarified for a 6th time. Cause and effect is not a plane. Nor is it a globe or a shape. Okay, dum-dum. Meanwhile, understanding what science is, that's the establishment of cause for an effect you observe in nature, natural, not synthetic, because we already know what caused that and man made it. That is what science is. If you know that, you know what science isn't. So being asked for the science of a plane, for example, demonstrates just how stupid our opponents are, in this case, the guy who interrupted this lesson in what science is, for the benefit of identifying what it isn't. That's to say, shapes and planes and how we measure them isn't science. Knowing what science is, establishment of the cause for a phenomena that's occurring in nature, that's science. Then you can shout down dickheads when you know that, if you know that. Like I know that. Go ahead.
So I just seen a tree fall off a leaf. Can we put that to the scientific method?
Hold on, Neil. I think there's someone else who wanted to get a question in.
Nah, I was just gonna say that, you know, maybe take.
Oh, it was only chocolate.
Because me. Yeah, it's only me. Maybe take it a slight easy on him, because, you know, maybe he was slightly confused about the category error, because we did ask, do they have any science for their globe? Being that that's what they assert to us all the time, or used to anyway. But maybe he just got slightly confused and said, hey, instead of offering science for this globe that I believe I live on, I'll just ask the flat earthers if they have science. Right? That should check out.
Oh, I see.
Almost.
Yeah.
Except he talked over him the first 2 times, and then when he finally got a chance to get muted to hear it, you know, there's no response to it.
Hey man, I have a question. One question.
Oh, here we go.
Go ahead, Nemoon.
Yeah, so my question is, like, if the latitude lines are based on the Polaris, so equator is also a circle, like latitude lines. It's all circles are concentric circles. So when we go to south, for example, south 40 degrees south. So south is after the equator. So I have heard, like you were saying, like they mapped the latitude lines first based on the equator till the equator line. And when they reach the equator, so they can't see the Polaris. So based on the data, like every 60 nautical miles or 69 miles, they started drawing 1 degree of latitude. So the south is 1 degree every 69 miles. So in that way, if we believe that, then from the equator, if we go towards the south and 90 degrees south, then the circles will be bigger and bigger and bigger, the latitude circle. So there will be a 90 degree south circle. So 90 degree south circle will be there, but it's not a point. So where is the geographical south pole on that 90 degree south?
Oh, ask one of the map makers. What we do know is that everything you described about the Polaris-centric system with latitude measurement, although you phrased it in an if statement, those weren't ifs. That is how it's done. It's not if. It's the latitude system is concentric circles with a limitation at the equator. That is what they are. Now, beyond that, it's fudged. I didn't make those maps. I don't make those assertions. There is no south point to draw 90 degrees to like there is with Polaris. Those are the facts in this matter. However, there are plenty of south stars that we can definitely negotiate the south with, in the same way we do the north by measuring elevation angles off a flat plane to them. So those are incontestable facts about how Earth gets measured, flat in all instances, with elevation angles, in this case described by you in an if statement about Polaris. That wasn't an if, it's a fact. That's how Polaris gets measured. I make no claim about the south. I didn't map it.
Okay, so like on the globe Earth, the south 90 degrees south is a point.
There is
That's a geographical south pole.
no, stop. There is no on the globe for this description. No. On screen now for my audience. The only way this gets described from globe descriptions is from within a globe, because the angle for latitude as marked on screen can only come as an angle to Polaris as marked on screen. Now, if you're going to describe that in any way with a globe, it's not on a globe, as you just said, New Moon. You obviously don't understand this stuff, or you wouldn't be describing angle measurements from a curved surface. You can't get elevation angle measurements on a globe, as you just suggested. No, Polaris and its measurements of angles with respect to a plane gets described only after you've measured Polaris to describe the system to create the globe with. Then you can plot it around a plane called the equatorial plane, like on screen now. But you don't ever measure the angle on the globe, only from within the globe that was created with the angles measured on a plane. That's how the angle measurements to Polaris that you just described as if statements were and are measured. Flat. Earth's flat.
Okay, so you're saying that you can't measure the angle if the Earth is a globe? Are you saying that? Because we can measure the
Sorry,
angle.
is that a
whether the
question,
Earth
or are
is
you going to
flat
keep out? Are you going to answer the question as well as ask it?
Yeah, you're saying like the latitude
Yeah, I heard
lines
you.
are
I
based
heard
on the
you.
flat.
So you are going to be answering the question and answering. Am I saying that you can't measure an elevation angle from a curved surface? That's a statement of fact.
Yeah.
It's a. My bad. Is it just me, or is this the second time you're answering on my behalf? As on screen now for my live audience, you can't get curved baselines to give you angles to GPs. They're angles. A prerequisite for an angle is that the baseline, in this case, the ground, is and must be flat. There is never a circumstance where you can acquire an elevation angle from a globe's curved surface. It's an angle. Straight lines. We all clear? Second time I've said it.
No. Okay, so let me explain you. Like first, when we take the elevation angle of a star, okay, the altitude of the star, we can take even without accounting for the surface of the Earth. You don't need the surface of the Earth for that. You just need to stand somewhere. You need your vertical line, and from your vertical, you can measure your zenith angle of that star, and the elevation angle of the star will be 90 minus zenith angle. And we don't need to account for the surface of the Earth. If we are taking the elevation angle in respect to the horizontal line, then the horizontal line is derived from our vertical line. So vertical line is the downward vector line, means when we hang a plumb bob, so that plumb line is our vertical line. It's the downward vector on the Earth. Whether the Earth is flat or globe, it is same. And the vertical line,
Can I
by
address that or
definition in
not?
astronomy,
And can I address that? No, that's incorrect. It's not scattergun.
Okay, let me complete.
Well, no, I don't need an
Let me
and. I
complete.
heard his claim. Can I address it, or is it just going to get scattergunned and some distance put between that garbage that isn't correct? Number one, I've already said it. He hasn't. He's just going to yammer through me. Can you server mute him, because I'm now starting and he's going to interrupt. It's clear that he's going to interrupt every word I say. I listen to him and I'd like to respond unimpeded. Number one, I've already addressed you can't get an elevation angle from a curved surface, so there is no on a globe measurement. He's just reasserted it without addressment. No, you don't get an angle off a curved surface ever, so there is no elevation angle on a globe. It's with respect to the surface. Response from you, it's not with respect to a surface when you measure an elevation angle. Elevation angle, you say? Oh, what's elevation with respect to? Always, without exception. The ground. It's the elevation. Oh, but it's not to do with the ground if we're doing it with respect to a plumb bob on a ball. No, we don't have ground positions on tangent planes that aren't on the surface. Ground positions are on the ground. They're just not on a curved ground because then it won't have a line meeting it for the angle measurement that we measure off a flat Earth. It's just not the globe ground. It is the ground. We're measuring the baseline for a ground position when we navigate the fricking ground. But because it's not the globe ground, people tell us that we can take an elevation. That's how high things are off the ground. Angle measurement. That's not specifically the height of the star, but with respect to the ground and the angle measurement you're taking, definitely, specifically, categorically to do with the ground, just not the globe ground. So we're told, oh, elevation angle's not nothing to do with the ground that's curving away and won't give us ground positions. Let's just accurately summarise what is actually the case. Elevation, how high things are off the ground, is absolutely with respect to the ground when we measure elevation angles, and I'm going to get muted by my opponent in my conclusion, it seems. But when the globe ground's not being used, I'll get interrupted. I've asked the server operators to stop this operating. I've got no control over him yammering through the conclusion that proves him wrong. Because zenith and its plumb angle, co-angle, co-what? Yeah, co for the ground line for the elevation angle, which is what we're actually measuring because it's specifically for navigating the ground, just not the globe ground. So when we measure an elevation angle, we measure it off a flat Earth for navigating the ground. And as this guy's telling you, it's just not the globe ground, because he's going to say elevation angles got nothing to do with the ground that we'll be navigating, because it's not curving away from us as per his dingleberry dangling below a plane that won't give us ground positions. I thank you.
He said downward
Okay,
vertical.
I'm curious.
There is no
I'm
down
sorry.
in the globe.
I'm sorry. I am new here, and I just wanted to ask a question. Are people here actually people actually think the Earth is flat?
Measured flat. Dumbo, we just went through how elevation angle measurements were measured off a flat plane. Are you so dense that you didn't listen to the last 25 seconds? Shut up!
Okay,
I'm talking, I'm responding to you.
okay,
Shut up! Shut this man up!
Okay.
Immediately chanting through me as I respond to him. What an asshole. Yeah, asshole Dumbo. Did you not comprehend the last 2 minutes of discussion where we measured Earth flat for elevation angles? So stupid as literally after Earth was just described and proven to be measured flat with elevation angles, he asks, are you people in here really suggesting Earth flat? It's just been described as being measured flat, and how it's incapable of measurement off a spherical surface. But you're going to question whether or not there's people in here that are flat earthers? You stupid retard. Sit down, you dumbass. You couldn't even listen to the discussion that was taking place while you were waiting for your turn to talk. Now you've been called stupid and shut down for being a belligerent prick. Listen to the discussion that's taking place, you stupid idiot. We're talking about measuring Earth flat with elevation angles. You stupid retard. Yeah, there's flat earthers here. I'm one and I'm telling you off, you dumb prick.
Well, he interrupted me making a point that New Moon used a downward vertical when he can't, because there is no down on a globe or up.
Good point. Can't have a plumb on a globe. You only have in and out, not down. That would be with respect to a plane perpendicular to it. Plumb bobs are only flat Earth. Kind of perpendicular, there isn't one on a globe.
Okay, my rebuttal.
Well,
So
let's take another approach. I mean, if the guy was so surprised.
The downward vector.
Excuse me, New Moon.
So the down.
New Moon.
We just addressed this, and he's going to immediately suggest that he's got a downward vector. We just took a dump on that. You don't have down. In and out only on a globe. Down is with respect to a plane of reference perpendicular to it. You don't have that on a globe. In and out only. If you say down, I will stop you. Clear?
Okay, to in the center of the globe Earth, it's the down.
No, down is with respect to a plane perpendicular to it. You don't have that on a globe. It's the third time. I'm done with you. If you don't have a response that if you are incapable of making a response that doesn't use a flat Earth, we are done in this discussion. You need down, yeah, perpendicular to a plane. So you'll need a flat Earth. Shut up. That's the end of your time here.
Maybe you can help him out,
can give
Omnivore.
fine.
You interrupted to say that he's right, so maybe you can help him out, Omnivore.
Sure. He's 100% right. So this is according to the globe model, which you could disagree with.
Show us.
You don't have a
But,
model.
Show it. Show it.
If you
Show it.
if you're
Show it. Show it.
Demonstrate.
Show the globe model. Show it. Guys in politics server, did the man that was just speaking, why is he on mute? Did the man that was just speaking have the ability to present his model that he's just suggested? If he's going to suggest we've got a model, I'd like to see it. Omni isn't on deafen, so he can hear me requesting it. If he's suggesting we've got
Or
it,
whatever it is
once
you're
it's
measuring,
presented,
the elevation angle will be
once
the
it's
co-
presented, we'll have a look at it. It seems like Omni has decided that he's just going to yammer incessantly. The politics server doesn't allow that, Omnivore. Your non-stop verbal diarrhea won't be tolerated by the reasonable server that we're in. I don't have any control over it, by the way, Omnivore, but you won't get to non-stop verbal diarrhea your way through us asking you to evidence what you've just verbally said. Model, globe. That's what you said. We'll be needing that. So if you're taken off mute and you're not giving it us, you won't be taking part until you do give us exactly that.
So if you disagree with that, then the question would be...
I haven't had it
which one of
yet.
us
Give us
is
the globe
actually
model,
correct.
and
Like,
we'll see if we disagree once you've given it us. You said globe model. Now, for my audience, there's 85 people listening to Omnivore completely obfuscate and ignore what he's just claimed. He said, according to the globe model. We haven't seen it yet. So we'll be needing that first, Omnivore. And if you don't give it us, you don't play. Hope that's clear.
You'll find this character, Nathan, talks so much that he won't have even heard what you said.
Oh, bless. Omni, did your tactics fail to get you hearing what I said? Globe model, you said it. We want to see it first before you get to talk about it. See it. Show it. Show it. Give it us.
WGS84 geoid model.
A WGS 84. Omni, are you being spoken for, my friend? Is that your globe model? The WGS 84? Is that yours? Don't seem to be hearing him. Omni claimed it, not you, New Moon. No, fair enough. He's popped himself on mute. There isn't one. There isn't a globe model. Nobody's ever shown us. We've been asking for about 10 years. There isn't one. There's an idea of one, but no one's ever shown it. There isn't one. It's just that simple. It's a fantasy.
The WGS84 is measured with respect to a flat plane. It's a flat plane map, not a model.
Nathan,
Is it
Nathan,
just me,
I have a
or
question in terms
is it
of
just me, or is the guy that was being addressed, New Moon, opened his mic and started talking through John, addressing his WGS 84? Now, I gave the person we were actually talking to, Omni, who suggested a globe model, the opportunity to take on board the WGS 84 as his claim. He didn't do so. He put himself on mute and shut down, like Omnivore so often does when he makes a bullshit claim that he can't back, in this case, globe model. Now, what happened afterwards was John, Refracted Curvature, addressed New Moon. But while he was addressing the shite that New Moon spewed about the WGS 84 and how it would prove a flat Earth, he got interrupted by New Moon, the one who was being proven wrong. You want to try that again, John? Hopefully without New Moon interrupting you the second time. We'll see how they try to obfuscate again. We'll see how we get on. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, the WGS84 was measured with respect to a flat plane. That's not a globe model. It's a flat Earth map.
Okay, so if you have completed, then my question is, in astronomy, the zenith angle plus the elevation angle of that star is always 90 degrees. So if we combine
If
the addition
it's not an if,
of the
it's not an if, it's not an if. I dealt with this already. You're rinsing and repeating. I already dealt with this. He didn't address it. Now, it was clear for my live audience. Everybody heard me point out that these aren't if statements. When you're measuring angles, you're giving them in degrees. They're definitely angles. They're definitely off a flat plane. This isn't an if statement. But you stuttering the word if 4 times, oh, that's not very telling. My God, man.
Can Okay, Nathan, like
Oh,
we have a
Nathan.
star.
Oh, you
Imagine-
don't. Oh. It's not an if statement.
My God, I'm talking about astronomy. In astronomy, like if there is a star, the zenith angle of that star, or and if we add the zenith angle of the star with the elevation angle of the star, it will always be 90 degree. Do you agree
Why
or
do you
not?
say? Why do you keep saying if?
That didn't even make sense as a sentence. That was the most stuttery, fragmented, garbage sentence I've ever heard. Would you like to rephrase it into sentence structure that makes some sort of coherent sense? Because that did not.
Okay, the elevation angle of star plus the zenith angle of the same star.
Stop. The elevation angle of the star is the first statement you've made. Define what an elevation angle is, please, before we do anything else. Let's figure out what that is, if that's what I'm being asked about.
Okay, so let me.
He is correct.
The elevation
That
angle
is
of the star.
100% true.
Okay, so 90 degrees is true. Okay, so the elevation angle of the star is.
That's not what I asked. Define
angle
what that is. Second time. Let's see how many times he obfuscates me. I'm being asked about an elevation
Okay, I'm
angle.
defining it.
I'm being chanted through
Okay,
now.
I'm defining
being
it.
chanted through now. This bitch
Okay,
is chanting through me. Yeah, he's trying to obfuscate. He's dodging. He's weaving. He's thinking he's going to get away like a scared deer in the headlights. Yo, dickhead! You're asking me about an elevation angle. Define it. Third time. See how many times. Count them off.
I'm defining it. I'm defining it. You're interrupting. So the elevation angle of the star, or also
No,
known as
we're
the
going to define
altitude
what
of
that
the
is before
star
we go on to talk about it. We're going to need to define what it is first. It's fourth time. We'll keep counting him off. He wants to
defining-
use it, and now he's talking through me. What he needs to do, ladies and gentlemen, my audience, is use an elevation angle without defining what it is. Now, I'm stopping him, aren't I? I'm going, no, you're not going to ask me about an elevation angle till we know exactly what it is. And he's like, no, you're interrupting. I must use this flat Earth only measurement and ask you about it after it's been made and we're already using it. Yeah, that's not going to happen. What we'll do, fifth time, new moon, define what an elevation angle measurement is, please. Fifth time.
Okay, I'm defining the elevation angle of a star is the angle between the celestial astronomical horizon and the object that we are taking the elevation angle.
Where was that
If there is a
definition
star,
from? Where's that cited? Cite it. Where's it from? Where was that from? I haven't got that one. I thought I had all of them. Did you just make that up?
No, I'm not making that up.
Where did you get it
the
from?
Horizontal.
Where did you get it from?
It's in the book.
Stuttery
of
bitch liar!
Horizontal.
You stuttery bitch liar! You just made that up, didn't you?
Okay, the horizontal line meets
Sorry,
all
did
the
this
celestial-
asshole just make that up and tell me that it wasn't made up? I'm pretty sure I've got all the citations for all the sources that define what an elevation angle is, but this lying piece of shit just thinks he can make it up, and when I ask him if he's made it up, he says no, and then when I ask him where he's got it from, he starts stuttering. You lying piece of
shut up,
shit.
Lord Todd.
I am
Shut up,
done with you, and we got white knights piping up while I tell him off. I will not accept
up,
what you
Lord
make.
Todd.
Oh yeah, we definitely got
Lord.
white knights. Definitely
I
got
got
the
it.
white knights. We've got my own panel. Definitely they're going to react to this too. No, New Moon, you're getting told off. How dare you make this shit up? No, mate, I've got 20 cited sources that are all 100% legitimate. That aren't you, a rambling disgrace of a man who'll make shit up on the spot and then lie about it when asked directly. I'm not going to take your shite. No, mate, you're just making this up. How dare you? You think you've got the right to define what an elevation angle measurement is, you do there, New Moon? Piss off. I'll cite it. I'll cite it from a credible source. I won't just make it up off the top of my head because I need it to comport with the globe. No, wanker, how dare you? Don't lie to me. I know you made it up. How dare you lie in the face of your overt lies, New Moon, you total scumbag. Yeah? We all know what an elevation angle measurement is here, and we've got plenty of cited sources to define it. When I ask if you're going to make it up, you better say, yeah, you caught me. I made that shit up on the spot. Yeah. Well, now I am going to define it. Before we talk about it, because we're going to need to know what it is, New Moon. Not the shit that you just made up on the spot about it, but how a legitimate source, like Sustainable by Design, how they define it, not you, you scumbag asshole lying globe believing wanker. Quote, the altitude angle, sometimes referred to as solar elevation angle, describes how high the sun appears in the sky. The angle is measured between an imaginary line between the observer and the sun and the horizontal plane the observer is standing on. End quote, sustainable by design. Now, I'm going to say that if I'm going to be asked about what elevation angles are, and they're specifically designed as being measured off a flat plane we're standing on, you can be damn sure that this asshole Glurf is going to make up what an elevation angle is on the spot, and then lie about it when challenged.
Okay, so I agree what you said. Horizontal plane.
Then shut up, you dumbass Glurf! Then Earth is flat.
No, horizontal plane.
Yeah,
is not
that's
the
an
surface of the
elevation
Earth.
angle that will measure off a horizontal plane that we're standing on. So we are ipso facto to measure this angle standing on a horizontal plane. Now you dick, you've told us that we don't have to measure this angle with respect to the ground at all. That's what you're telling us, you asshole. Yeah, even though it's defined as having a plane that we're standing on as part of the frickin' definition, you're telling us it's got nothing to do with the ground. You're a disingenuous, deceitful Glurf, and I'm done talking to you. Stop lying. We caught you, New Moon, lying about something you made up on the spot. And then after I defined it specifically, you agreed. So we're all in agreement, unlike the shit that you spouted about it not having anything to do with the ground. You agree with the legitimate source that I went and got and cited, with quotes around it, by Sus Design. Yeah, they defined it as needing the fucking ground. You can piss off, you lying bastard. I don't feel disrespectful by swearing at you. You're an asshole. Therefore, you get every ounce of venom when you lie to me about shit you make up. If you agree, then there's no point talking to you anymore, you dumbass. Earth's measured flat with an elevation angle, so when you start asking me about them, you can accept the ground must be flat to measure it, and then we're done with the conversation, aren't we, dumbass? Lying to me, what a scumbag. I'm done talking to him. Server moderators, I don't come here to be lied to. I don't come here to ask somebody if they've made something up and then get told they haven't. He lied. I don't want to talk to him anymore. Can I just appeal? I have to go if you just allow liars to just waste my time. Yeah, that was beyond all doubt. He lied. Did you make it up? No, I didn't make it up. Lying bastard pig dog. Fuck off.
Yeah, you just conceded your entire argument by agreeing to a horizontal plane, my friend. Because you're supposed to be proving a ball.
And proving it had nothing to do with the ground.
Plane on a ball.
Yeah, but when it's something to do with the ball, we can measure it and have nothing to do with the ground. Yeah, because we measure them with respect to a plane, and when they're depicted with a ball Earth, it's wrapped around the angle measured on a plane as on screen for my audience the entire time. But he's going to lie and say it's got nothing to do with the ground that's being measured to acquire it. Why? Because it's got nothing to do with the globe ground. So we'll lie and lie and lie about it. Oh, nothing to do with the ground. Oh, right. Well, why is it in the definition then? And every one of the 20 definitions that aren't made up by a scumbag liar, well, that's because we measure Earth flat with them. Sorry, did somebody from the sidelines who's too dumb to listen to this conversation want to ask, are you guys really flat earthers? Yes, so are you. We all measure Earth flat. That's how it gets measured.
Also, his appeal to the celestial horizon, that is a parallel plane with the horizon at your eye level. You didn't help yourself any with that definition.
Good job I keep it on screen for the 100 people watching. Woo-hoo-hoo! 100 people watching. Please share the show if you haven't done so already. And the only reason we've got 100 people watching is because people share the show. So massive thank you to all of you who smash the share button while I'm yelling at fundies for using flat earth measurements and then lying about cited sources they don't have. When they make up crap about elevation angles, not needing the ground.
They do tend to all do this, don't they? I've noticed, like when they're trying to explain curvature, they start actually describing how Earth's measured flat using horizontal planes. I find it so bizarre.
Yeah, I'm going to put a stop to it. Stop using our measurements. If you want to use flat Earth measurements, accept Earth's flat.
They can't. Everything in their religion is based on that, Nathan. You know that.
Oh yeah, the globe was measured flat, and the Greeks all knew that.
Hey, One Deck. And if anybody in the audience feels that we're too hard on New Moon, we spent hours with New Moon breaking down the scientific method. He's a disingenuous little piece of crap.
He's a baller. He's here pretending to be a flat earther, pretending to be our side. No, he's not. He's a glober. He's arguing for a globe. He's like Jaren. He's part of that whole shill crew.
Exactly, Nathan.
I don't understand why they want to use a Cartesian coordinate system, which is planar in nature, to say that the plane that we will reference to the world we live on has nothing to do with the world we live on. It's crazy.
I did my yelling sound on the MX412 with a 185 cardioid cartridge. Does it sound good?
Awesome.
It is over the top.
Too loud? Not enough compression?
That was much clearer.
Oh, good.
Sounds great.
Good. I would hope this sounds the best. It's the closest to my mouth. But it's hard to get something that's close mic to work when you know you're going to be yelling into it. But I spent a good half an hour before the show making sure the compressors all worked really nicely. I'm glad you like it. I forgot to EQ it. Oh, I'm using the EQ from the shotgun mic, but oh well.
So is that I had to miss a little bit, just to kind of review a little bit. Has everybody that's tried to prove a globe so far used a flat Earth measurement?
Oh God, of course.
Yes, they have. Yes, without exception.
They've been doing it for 2,000 years.
So they say, according to their rhetoric. I don't know if I buy that, but you can say that as long as you strap on the end of it, according to their story.
Yeah, allegedly.
That's the one. I couldn't. That's why I was stuttering. I couldn't think of the word allegedly. Allegedly, they've been using flat Earth measurements for 2,000 years.
Well, yeah, but
Just
oh, go ahead, Chopper.
no, go ahead, because you're still on this point. I was going to do something else.
Oh, well, see, the thing is, the celestial sphere has probably existed for that long. The celestial sphere is with respect to a flat plane that the observer is standing on, you know? So they convolute that with, they think that's theirs, and it's not.
Yep. And like I say, I'm going to stop them. Stop using our flat Earth measurements. It's incredibly irritating. Most irritating of all is when they suggest they're going to put an end to flat Earth with flat Earth measurements. Creaky Binder has done that exact thing. So on yesterday's show, we were covering, it's actually Fisherman in a Box's response to it, because I didn't or don't watch Creaky, but I do watch Fisherman in a Box, and he reported on it, if you will. And what he reported on was Creaky suggesting that he's going to send some vehicle up, and at altitude he'll see a curve. Therefore, science. Number one, cause and effect reasoning based on hypothesis actualized by experiment much? No, of course not. Creaky's as big a fraud as Duffy. Meanwhile, what's that you say you're going to measure the height off sea level? Stop using our flat Earth measurements. What's that you say you're going to shut up flat Earthers with this? No, it'll get me yelling in your face. Yeah, if I was in your presence, you'd have my saliva spraying on you as I'm like, don't use our flat Earth measurements, you stupid retard, Creaky Binder. That's what you'd get. I'm going to shut us up. It's going to get us furious because you're using our measurements of a flat Earth to suggest it isn't flat. Idiots.
So they're going to stop us from mowing our own lawn by taking our lawnmower. I see.
And mowing our lawn with it. I know, he annoys me so much with his lawnmower, mowing his lawn with his noisy lawnmower. How can I stop him mowing his lawn? I know, I'll jump on his lawnmower and mow his lawn. Then he's not mowing it. Yeah, then you're mowing it. Yeah. But he's not mowing it. Yes, exactly the same, Neil, correct. Yeah. Well, how can I stop him from saying Earth's flat? I know, I'll use a flat Earth and describe how high this balloon is above a flat Earth. And look, I'm this high above a flat Earth in this elevation. And then I see a curve. Oh, what do you mean you see a curve? Yeah, you see this horizon. Well, if I suggest that 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet would be where Earth curve mathematics suggests a reified geometric point in the distance below the surface level I've just measured my height off is. Didn't you just measure your height off surface level? Yeah, not only that, I derived a depression angle from a parallel eye level at this altitude. I absolutely need my eye level at this altitude to be parallel with the ground or the maths doesn't work. Oh, right, so you need your eye level to be flat and you need the surface to be flat and you need the two to be parallel for the maths of Earth curve to work to suggest that below the surface level, you've measured your height off. There's a geometric point below that surface level. I see. You're a retard. Stop using flat Earth measurements. Idiots, learn how your maths work if you want to learn to believe in a ball, because you don't know how it works. Or you'd understand and appreciate the flat Earth you're measuring.
Right, but the horizon that he's going to appeal to can't exist on a globe. The slope-intercept formula debunks the mere notion of a horizon on the globe.
What's the slope-intercept formula?
It is the rate of change of, let's see, the curvature would be defined as the rate of change of slope of non-zero. But when the horizon is measured, it is zero.
So you're saying the rate of change of non-zero, in other words, when you don't have it changing. That is to say, if you're going to describe a change, you must have a zero to describe it from. Correct?
Yes.
So you can't have a horizon on a globe then?
No.
Called the slope-a-dope. If anybody's unfamiliar with the argument, Google slope-a-dope by Quantum Eraser.
Not only that, you see how you stopped Omnivore dead when he had to present his globe model that they don't have?
Well, we've been asking for, what, 10 years? They just, by pure fiat, infer they've got one. Well, on the globe model, let's see it. Well, we all know we've got one. No, we haven't. So let's see it.
Yeah, I mean, this model, the apparent model must be in a museum somewhere. We can all go and have a look at it, surely.
We're in the digital age. I would imagine a link would take me straight to it. Rendered in glorious 3D animation with the bent pseudo-Riemannian space-time geometry and molten iron core and second law of thermodynamics violation sky vacuum all intact, all in a single model. Because that's what it would be, right? Oh, what's that? You don't have that? Yeah, we know you don't have a model of a globe. What you do have is a mathematical extrapolation derived from flat Earth elevation angle measurements to stars. We'll be measuring Earth flat for you to infer the mathematics of heliocentrism, but the mathematics of heliocentrism aren't a globe model. That's idiotic. Even if they were, we're not standing in hell like we described the heliocentric model, like orbital motion passing through the centre of a globe. That's in a globe that motion's described mathematically. Nobody's in hell to describe the maths of heliocentrism that isn't your model. Idiots.
Yeah, the idea of a mathematical model, I mean, a model is something that is taking measurements from how we experience the world and scaled them to size. They haven't got a model. They can't.
Yeah, the reification of what they think is their model violates the base measurements used to create the mathematics they think is a model that doesn't really exist. That is to say, you measure Earth flat with elevation angles and derive systems like latitude. Those systems can then be utilised antipodal to create a north and south flat system and then you can project those out onto globe points with the Haversine conversion. Well, you still need to wrap a celestial sphere around flat plane measurements to infer a sphere that you can be in with respect to heliocentric motion. Okay, well, number one, we've measured Earth flat to achieve that. So you're going to suggest that we're standing on the outside edge of the angle measurements that we project through when measuring them flat? You can't reify that. It's a contradiction in terms. You can't be in a globe measuring angles off a plane and on a globe projecting them back into hell. It's just how the maths works is leaving you with this idea that you can have a globe to stand on. But once you understand how they work, you know it's not a reifiable possibility. You can't make the world sphere-shaped. You're projecting the points that create that notion from a flat plane. That's why there's no walking away from this. If you're a real flat earther and you know how Earth is measured, you'd be inquiring as to how the globe came from those measurements, because they all came from flat Earth measurements. All models of a suggested explanation for the movement of the stars start their life with angle measurements of the paths that they take off a flat Earth. And then from there, you can start making things like globes. If you understand that, you know that there's no walking away from the flat plane we all dwell atop. That's how we measure it, survey it, build on it, map it, chart it, sail on it, fly over it. You name it, we deal with it flat when we measure it. Earth, that is.
Yeah. Well, Thunderfoot, remember when he was trying to explain how you come to believe the angle is measured from the center of Earth and then parallel with a tangent plane on top of Earth, and then he said, and what you do is you blah, 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 and convince yourself that they're the same.
Yeah, he said, and then you move it to here and you convince yourself they're the same. Something like
that. Yeah.
Nathan?
Yeah, he doesn't understand how it works, or he would know that he can't move himself like that.
Hey, Nathan.
Yes, hello.
So, I just wanted to say this to Neil because he was talking about new moon and how you have already spent a number of hours trying to teach him the basics of all the discussion we are having here. So I just wanted to tell Neil, add to that my many hours that I have spent on new moon. This other Indian guy has also tried, and in our conversations, new moon did not even have the excuse of not having a really good English, because we used to talk in Hindi. And I have also spent many hours trying to teach him. And this is just the recent past when, after Jaren is now a glober, these erstwhile Jaren fanboys are having a difficult time dealing with the situation. But I have been at it right from the days when Nathan and Jaren were in a ref because of science and what it means and what is actually the meaning of science, or whether it proves something or not. I have been at it right from that time with this guy New Moon. It's painful.
I know. I should have said that you spent time with him as well. And you did warn us while we were taking the time with him that it's going to be a waste.
It's always a useful tool. Shout out your channel, Flat Arthur, your YouTube channel.
I was just speaking out of experience, Neil. And yes, Arthur Breep Flat is my channel, @Flat Arthur on YouTube as well as X. And regarding X, I also wanted to add that to get the gist of the conversation for the past half an hour that you had with New Moon and other people here. So, Nathan, just because the Earth is measured flat, you are telling me that the Earth is flat.
It doesn't have to be to take a zenith angle, apparently. We don't need the ground for that elevation angle. But yes, that's right. Just because we measure Earth flat, that just means it's flat. It's not we can measure Earth flat, we must measure it flat, but that's only because it's a really big ball that we measure Earth flat. We just measure Earth flat. Believing that it's because it's a really big ball is simply globe believers' apologies for why they have to measure it flat.
So guess who I heard it in the recent past. Recently, I asked Grok. I downloaded Grok 3 version and asked Grok, and there also you get the same response. So just because we do it on a local basis, locally, you also think that globally it is flat. You told me that. You told me that it is measured flat. Just because it is measured flat, or something to that effect, I also was able to get it from Grok 3, and I'm still at it. I have been at it for a few days, and I'm trying to make it learn and accept that the earth is measured flat, which I have already done with Meta AI.
Well done. You're whipping it into line. AI, that is. Shout out to Simeon Mav, who sends a super chat and says, "Great work, Nathan." Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate the support. Right, guys, we're going to hang around in politics for about 5, maybe 10 minutes, depending on if we get any more questions, just to make you aware. Then we'll be thanking you and bidding you farewell. Go ahead, whoever that was.
It's me, Nathan. Arthur, you don't really have to spend that much time trying to convince them about how it's measured flat. Just let them have the mic for a few minutes and ask them to describe how curvature is measured, and you'll find that they are and will be describing how Earth is measured flat themselves without any prompting from you.
Or denying that measuring the ground for navigating the ground has anything to do with the ground. Well, it's going to be a protracted silence, so it looks like we'll start wrapping up and asking the politics server if we'll be welcome back next week. Are we still welcome, or if we overstep the mark a bit? We'll see. Got told off last week, I pushed it a bit far.
Yes, absolutely, Nathan. Welcome anytime. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having us, as always. Hopefully we will be back next Friday.
Stay blessed, Nathan, and watch out for zombies.
Zombies? What's that mean? I'm intrigued to stay to find out what you mean.
They're
Zombies?
everywhere.
They are everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
I see what you mean. You mean globe zombies.
Yeah, globe zombies.
You're just gonna have to face up to it. Some people don't have a competent faculty of philosophical reasoning to be able to take this in. But you're gonna have people like that.
Spoken as well as Newton himself. Right, with that though, I am going to say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Programming Streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow.
No time does it measure the surface, nor does it establish a horizontal reference. But the moment he used the word vertical, what is vertical? You can't use the word vertical without being in reference to horizontal. So what are you talking about? Hey, Yoka. People are just confused and they don't get the basic words that they're using, dude. How are you going to use the word vertical and claim there is no horizontal?
Because like that you don't need to use horizontal, you use only vertical. You don't think about horizontal and you are saved.
Yeah, so what is vertical? Can he define the vertical?
Vertical it's something about the curved surface for sure.
Vertical is 90 degrees perpendicular to the horizontal.
Precisely.
Okay, so he should that word then. Confusion then.
Hey guys, hey guys in our Discord. Good to be back.
Hey, good morning. How is today?
Very well. I just want to introduce you. I know you know him already, Mush. To One Deck, who's got something to say on the matter. Go ahead, One Deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Has he run away? I saw him.
One Deck.
Oh, he's not playing ball. I thought One Deck would give a list of things that they can't say.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not going to. Oh well. Anyway,
oh wait, is One Deck the one that's got the list of 30 words?
Yeah. Well, that was on the list.
Yeah, I'm in now, Nathan. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, One Deck.
There we go. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
dude, Surf Daddy says, bless you, man. I've been using that list for months now, so thank you. Go on.
I'll read it in a minute, but I was thinking maybe using this list, and like we get all these Muppets on who don't know what's what. I was thinking using these, just doing a multiple choice examination test paper with 30 questions, and they have to answer these questions, and it has a pass mark before, and if they don't pass, then we don't have a conversation with the Muppets because they obviously don't understand these words mean. And these are the 30 words. These 30 words not allowed to be used when explaining how Earth curve is measured. Sea level, horizon, horizontal, parallel, plumb, perpendicular, elevation, angles, triangles, sea sextant, theodolite, spirit level, altitude, vertical, tangent, straight line, up, down, plane, north, south, east, west, azimuth, altitude, and flat. 30 words, and that's that. You can't use these unless you're explaining flat.
Hey, brother, I got a couple more to add. Reference frames, or that is, and rotation.
I think we've said, but we could go on, and I think we stopped it at 30 because it could. If we decide to go to 33, we could make it a little bit Masonic.
Don't get ruined in the poem.
You can carry on and on with it.
Oh, hold on. Did you say we could get it up to 33? I'm having second thoughts now. Maybe 33 is better. Yes. Decided. 33 would be better.
33 then.
Foot, yeah.
Go on, John.
Foot, yard, miles, kilometer, meter, decimeter, parallel.
Depth.
Yep.
I think we had one pop up last week, and Nathan asked, was it Zenith?
Yeah, but like you say, we could go on all day. I mean, all roads lead to a flat Earth. We could be adding endless things that they could use. Right?
Yeah, it could go on. That's what I was doing, but then I thought I'm going to stop at 30.
Yeah, rightly so. Not that it's not valid to go up to 100, but
I mean, it's fair to say anything that happens in reality happens because Earth is flat and stationary.
Yeah, if we're measuring it, exactly. I've been emboldened since, getting through the end of a few flurfs saying, you can't say it's measured flat, that doesn't make any sense. You're like, yeah, it does, because that's how it's measured. Why wouldn't it make sense? It kind of begs the question why we were being told by people alleged to be on our own side that saying Earth's flat wasn't allowed. You kind of look back on that and go, that's interesting. Because it's necessitated.
Suspicious, right?
A little bit.
I remember one day wanted to stop at 30, but I always wondered, could the word orientation be like one, using it as a reference to up and down in the stationary plane?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a flat Earth only. Yeah, no doubt.
You got no orientation on a globe.
When you're charting maps and stuff like that, that's orienting. You're supposed to. We learned that in Boy Scouts. That's the process of. I think it's called orientation.
We called it orienteering.
Yeah, orienteering. Yeah, that's what you're doing, and that's got to be on a map. And you use your compass, and you're a Boy Scout.
Yeah, that's why I heard it from the military, cell navigation or land navigation. Sorry.
I think the ones the most they tend to use when they're trying to explain curvature, but they do use the sea level one quite a lot. Horizon, horizontal, parallel, plumb, perpendicular. Elevation's one they're constantly using. Angles, triangles. They do use the sextant, definitely the theodolite. Spirit level, altitude, they're always going on about that. Vertical, tangent, every second word. Straight line, up, down, plane, north, south, east, west, azimuth, altitude. They're the main sort of ones you find that they're using to explain curvature. Which is a bit strange, isn't it, really?
Mr. Heyoka, this morning he used the word slope. But if you look at the Cambridge Dictionary, the word slope is deviation from horizontal.
That's correct.
So where'd you get the horizontal?
Exactly.
There's no end to this shit.
Hold on. Mush, you realise that's the slope-a-dope that you've just comprehended. So it takes people a while.
Of course, man.
Took me a while to get that. The slope. I still I don't utilise it enough. I got told off the other day, actually.
It's like the reverse of pitch, isn't it? You know, that your pitch, angle of pitch, that needs a horizontal.
Correct.
You know, not sloping, it's pitching up from the horizontal, and it's an angle, you know, from the horizontal.
Yeah, that's why Brian was so keen to get pitch data. By virtue of what it is, it can only be flat Earth measuring by definition, by what it is. So that's why Brian, you know, it's one of those, you knew why he was keen to get hold of pitch data. And that's why, right? What else can it be other than a flat Earth proof? It can only be a flat Earth proof, and it's a measurement through the air for a long journey. You're like, this is going to be devastating. That's why it was tricky to get hold of.
Is it like saying it's the antecedent, like the same as in the gas pressure containment?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pitch, exactly. To have pitch described at all as a flat Earth antecedent consequent relationship. Exactly. That's a good way of putting it.
For any globe measurement, you'll need an antecedent of any flat Earth measure. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, flat Earth is the antecedent for a globe. That's right. The consequent globe comes by way of a flat Earth measurement. Therefore, if you ever assert a globe in any way or capacity, you're going to require the antecedent of a flat Earth to measure. So yes, it's stupid as crazy as a notion as it sounds. The antecedent to globe is flat Earth. That's correct. My God, I can't believe I'm saying that. It's true though, isn't
it? It's as simple as that then, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it is as simple as that. I'm just pleased that I've managed to make this mic work at such a short distance. It's really close to me. You know, the guy on the behavioural panel with the long hair, the British guy called Mark Bowden. Turns out he's like a voiceover artist and had done like various different animation characters and various things. And when I was looking up, or researching, if you will, mics, he popped up. I'm like, what's Mark Bowden from the behavioural panel doing on a video about the U87 from Neumann? And he pops up and he's like, everyone's always looking for the Neumann U87, and he puts it on screen and he's like, ah! All the angels singing around this mic, like, and he's like, you don't need that. He says, what I use on the behavioural panel is a gooseneck mic. Now, he didn't explain which one, because they're obviously like any mic, you can get them in varying qualities. And I subsequently did a bit of research and waited for a cheap one to appear. Or, you know, it's one of the many mics I've researched that if one appeared cheap, I might end up buying it because I know it's cheap. Well, that was the case with this gooseneck that I'm using right this second. But getting it to not compress, or not distort, I should say, when it's being compressed, I'm quite pleased. But this should be a really good sound. Of all of the sounds that have been put to the debate, this should be the clearest.
I think it sounds good. I think when you was messing around with the that mid that you put on the Skype, it sounded really good. Your voice, you know, when you were showing the diagram of the midsection or the treble, whatever you were doing, but your voice sounded really crisp.
Oh, that was on. Oh, that's on my main mic. That's not this mic. That was on my Neumann. That's like a $2,500 mic. This one's not that.
Oh.
But this is closer. So this is like I say, that Mark Bowden was saying, use a gooseneck, and from what I could establish, gooseneck, the capsules, when you get into the really good ones, are also used on really high-end specialist lapel mics, otherwise known as lavaliers. But those come in two flavours. One that's not trying to get good quality, it's just trying to be subtle and hidden, and therefore small, and isn't going for the ultimate quality, it's going for the ultimate discretion. And then there's others that obviously will have to be shown, that are trying to work like any other microphone, and they're more akin to like an instrument mic that would be on the end of a clip, on the end of a trombone or something like that. And they also get used at the end of goosenecks, again in varying qualities. So I thought, well, okay, well, I'll take it to heart. You know, I do heed people's advice, and that was a piece of advice from that Mark Bowden guy. So I'm like, if I see one for a good price, I'll buy it. And that's, like I say, what this is, to try and achieve the highest of quality. But then you find out, okay, well, it makes sense because the smaller diaphragm's better at responding to transients, and just by its very nature, it's quick to move, so it's good good bass response. Everything about it is right in terms of the physics of how it actually functions. So you go, okay, well, it should, in theory, terrible use of words, sound the best, so long as it's close enough with a cardio or a capsule. And this is definitely within the right distance. But then you go, well, dynamically, will it overload? You know, if I really yell. So I was today, in case you hadn't noticed, I was really going for it, like proper yelling. Because I want to test it out, right? I just want to see how it works. It's not going to be my forever mic, it's my daughter's. But I still want to know how it works.
I think you could tell you was actually yelling. I mean, just I could tell you was shouting, but I couldn't hear any distortion or anything.
Oh, fucking hell, you pleased me, Rick. You know what the right things to say. Oh, getting a little bit moist.
How far did you have it from you? What was your placing? Like 3
On
feet,
wicked.
6 feet?
What do you call a wicked when you hold out your thumb and forefinger at the same time? What would you call that? I call it a wicked. People call it hang five.
That close? Okay. I thought, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches.
No, you're sounding good right now. Sounding warm.
You have a pop screen too, right? Nathan? Nathan?
He's going for a coffee.
Oh, well, I was telling him, I sent them something too, this thing called, hey, you got a pop screen too, right?
What?
A pop screen, you know, in front,
no.
Between you and the mic?
No.
Okay, because that'll even make the T's, P's, and won't have that sound to it.
No, I established that earlier with Neil, so I asked if I was putting plosives down it, and he said I wasn't.
Did I send you that thing about the chaotic eye?
Yeah.
It's a okay, yeah, that's a very good investment. I mean, they showed a sample of a demonstration of it where a guy literally did a song on top of a rooftop in the city and was able to, you know, minimize at least 87 to 90% of the city noise, where all he had to do is then put a gate on it, and it was perfect. Sound like he was in
I
the
don't
booth.
doubt it. Those chaotic eyes are like a studio in an eyeball thing, yeah. But in a room, no, I don't know. I understand how they should work, but I don't know. In here, the whole room's treated. This is as good as it gets. This room's proper dry, it's proper flat.
Yeah.
It's not too dry. It's got enough scatter plates around the room for it to not be hella dry. Because if you make it too dry, it can become uncomfortable, the room itself, to be in. This isn't. This is really pleasant. I often fall asleep. I fell asleep at the beginning of yesterday's show. So I'm sat saying to Neil, oh man, I'm so tired. I might not have a show today. And then that was the last thing I remember. Right, and then I woke up and I'm looking, I'm like, oh God, where am I? And I look and the timer's going, we're definitely recording, nobody's talking to each other. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, you're right. Your room is treated well. That thing and also the other thing that looks like it's like a half of a pentagon shaped thing that goes behind the mic and wraps around you like you step into a voting booth. They got those too.
Yes.
Where the only thing, yeah, but those are for like untreated rooms, like you said. When your room is treated like yours, you don't have to worry about that. I'm surprised you're not using a pop screen in front of you.
Just if you know how to use a mic, you shouldn't need one. I mean, the reason a mic pops is because you put a plosive is basically just a breath of air hitting the capsule and overloading the capsule. That's all you're doing. Well, don't put air down the capsule. I point the mic up the mouth. That's the easiest way to not have to use a pop filter is point the mic at your mouth, not your mouth at the mic. So this mic's pointing down at a 45-degree angle at my mouth. So then I don't need a pop filter. I do have one, and I put it on for my daughter's live stream, and I might accidentally say a P when looking up at the window. So if I said now, this is going to be horrible. Maybe close your ears. Please provide pizza pronto. I mean, no doubt that put a plosive in. No doubt. But that is unlikely that I'm going to be looking up at the window in the direct direction of it. And this isn't even my mic, so I don't even care. Anyway. Adam's going to be so delighted he's joined and I'm talking about microphones because he loves microphones. Adam just doesn't shut up about them. Total lie.
Adam there, what kind he got? What kind of mics he have?
I've actually ordered a mic for Adam. Actually, now you said that. I've got a problem. It's like crack. I'm trying to involve other people in my addiction. So I've bought Adam a microphone from AliExpress. It's on its way. I'm not even joking. I've got a problem. I'm going to seek help.
And you have that addiction I had mentioned before when I had said, am I the only one that knows I ordered something but can't wait till it comes and can't wait to break the seal and open up the box excited like a child on Christmas Day? There's nothing like that feeling. Even though you know what it is, you're anticipating.
I don't know. Certain things, yes. I can't really say yes because I recently had that, right? I just bought loads of stuff that's new. And unless it's plugged in and then does exactly what I want it to, it's always a disappointment. So at the moment, I'm in limbo with a mic that I've just bought on Amazon that I'm going to get modified. Craig's waiting for a capacitor to come in and he's going to modify it. The guy on the panel will click OK. Well, that I'm excited about to try and hope that it sounds wonderful. Now, if it doesn't, it's just yet another mic that will go on eBay. Right, but that one I paid top price for because I couldn't find one. And then sod's law, it came out for 20 quid cheaper on eBay the day I bought it. But in either event, all I want to know is that after it's modified, when I get it in my hands then, I'll plug it up and listen to the result that it produces. If that's good, I'll be happy. But getting it, I couldn't care less. I handed it off to Craig the day I got it. I'm like, I'm really excited for the result of the modification, not for getting the mic. Same with this. It's like, I'm excited to put it in front of my daughter. And at the moment, it's too close to her and me at the moment. I'm sure it sounds lovely, but I just, having something 6 inches away from my face, just, I don't know, it makes me, I'm getting backache. This is going to sound stupid, right? It makes me so claustrophobic that my back is, what's the word? Is it spasm? Where your muscles tighten up around your spine? Is it called spasm? Got the wrong word.
It could be.
I've got tension around my spine, not because I'm sat in a weird position, nothing other than I've got something very close to me, and I'm conscious of it. I hate it. It makes you feel claustrophobic, having a mic right next to you. I don't know, I watch podcasters on some videos, and they're like talking into some giant, massive butt plug of a mic, and you're like, my God, that's 3 inches off your face. How'd you sit there with that in front of you the whole time? It would drive me potty.
What are you going to do when you die? You better get buried in a mausoleum then.
Huh?
If you're that claustrophobic, your family better have a nice mausoleum for you instead of getting buried in a coffin because you're going to lose your mind in there.
I'll be dead, Neil. I won't care. Oh, we know what's on Neil's mind.
So they say. But I remember reading some stories where they dug up graves and there was scratch marks. People trying to claw their way out.
Yeah, and they had bells that you could buy when you bought your grave before you died. You could specify that it would have a bell and a little chain that went down to the coffin just in case you were still alive when you were buried.
Well, they say the brain activity is the last to go. So a lot of people, not talking about days out, but a lot of people, heart stops, cold, pulse, but they're not physically dead. And that's going on really big time in the harvesting of these organs nowadays. Pronounced dead, 1001, they're not really dead. Get those organs, now you killed them.
Get those organs? I think you've got some misapprehensions about what being a donor involves.
No, there's illegal stuff going on. These are on point here.
If you're dead, then you have absolutely
Neil.
nothing to offer the living anymore, including your organs, if you're dead.
But you're not dead. That's the point I'm making. They're announcing them dead, but they're not dead. Dead is brain activity death, not just
They never
no
announce-
pulse. No,
no. They don't. They're never going to say that you're dead. They said They say words to the effect of, "You are in a," or "Your loved one is in a vegetative state." That's the term, like a vegetable. Parrot. Anyway, let's not get demonetized. Let's change the subject. Let's all chill. Lay like broccoli.
well, I missed the politics already, right?
Ah, you missed the party.
Politics.
Yeah, we already did the politics thing. Yeah, you missed the politics thing. Sorry.
No need for apology. I'm just late. I know I'm late.
Oh, good. I need to make a thumbnail for today's show. Can't really think of the theme. What did we do in politics? You Moon talked to us about elevation angles. Did the usual, didn't we?
How many globes? A lot of globe interjections?
One or two. Right, I think I might round out shortly. This is going to be the end. With that, I'm going to say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you. I should really put my lights on. For liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.